say from basketball season.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tyler Thomas, and of course I am joined tonight by Brad Doublehead. We are here for some Thursday night lights action as the Stilwell Indians play host to the Fighting Teddy Layman's, a.k.a. Fort Gibson Tigers. Fort Gibson comes into this game 0-5. Stilwell, off of a nice win over the Sallisaw Black Diamonds last week, comes into the game 3-2. Brad, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Tyler. I'm excited to be with you guys on this beautiful Thursday evening, enjoying some Stilwell Indian football. This is a little bit of a role reversal, Tyler, from how we've seen these two teams whenever they've met in previous seasons, with Stilwell being 3-2 and Fort Gibson being winless to this point.
Absolutely. As we said, they do come in 0-5. Their last game that they played was against Broken Bow, where Broken Bow beat them 48-24. Of course, Stilwell coming off that win against Sallisaw 30-20. It was the first time since 1965 and 66 that Stilwell has beat Sallisaw in back-to-back seasons. First-year head coach here at Stilwell, Bo Collins, is seeking the best start to a coaching career at Stilwell since 1998, when the late Sam Clappin started his tenure as head coach with a 5-1 record. You know, Clappin served as the head man for the Indians for the 98 and 99 seasons. That's big because you see a lot of these coaches. I went back through the record books. A lot of these coaches were struggling to get a win or two wins. You didn't see very many get 3 wins on the whole season, and he started 3-2.
Yeah, and it's very impressive. And I think part of his success, Tyler, is attributed to the fact that Collins, as an assistant coach last year, had a lot of these players in his group, and so they're familiar with him. They know what to expect of him, and he knows what to expect from them. And so I think once you have that familiarity established, it's easier to kind of transition into that next season and continue to build on where you left off the previous season.
Absolutely. And so we have the coin flip going on right now. Looks like Stilwell won the toss with the head man talking to the Indians.
Yeah, and we're going to read off the captains for tonight's game. Number 3, Kenley Catron. Number 20, which is Blaine Holloway. Number 55, which is Jaston Chronister.
Stilwell did win the toss. Sorry, Brad.
That's all right.
They deferred and will be kicking off to start the game. They'll receive in the second half.
And your last captain tonight will be Chalon Putnam. So they exchange handshakes there.
You got some of the Indians donning some pink socks this for tonight's game, as it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. So that's awesome to see them promoting that cause. The series record between Fort Gibson and Stilwell is Fort Gibson with the advantage of a 27-6 team record against the Indians. The last contest, of course, was 2021. These two teams have been in the same district for a number of years now and play on a yearly basis. But Stilwell does have some experience of beating them, having some success against them, particularly around the end of the first decade of the 2000s and then the early 2010 decade, that part. Stilwell comes into this game on the offensive side, averaging 25 points per game. Kanan Mink, 5th in Class 4A in passing yards with 670 yards a game on the season. Ethan Richards is 8th in Class 4A in rushing yards with 459. Kanan Mink is 11th in Class 4A in rushing yards with 364. Dalton Christie comes in 13th in Class 4A in receiving yards with 240. And Ethan Richards is 4th in Class 4A in scoring with 56 points on the season. That's 8 TDs and 4 two-point conversions for Richards. Brad, what are you looking for on offense tonight?
I'm looking for a very heavy dose of Ethan Richards early on, Tyler. You know, that's one thing that was missing from the game plan early on in the Sallisaw game. He just wasn't getting enough touches, and when he did get touches, he was able to break it up the middle for 8, 10, 12 chunk plays, you know, and that really opened up the offense. We got back to that in the second half, and that really opened things up for Stilwell, and that's why they were able to, get ahead of Sallisaw and hold on to the victory.
On the defensive side of the ball, Stilwell has allowed on average 29.8 points per game Dustin Noisewater comes into the game 13th in Class 4A in tackles with 38 on the season. And Blaine Holloway is 8th in Class 4A in tackles with 43 on the season. Brad, what are you looking for on the defensive side of the ball?
I'm looking for them to continue that aggressive streak that they had in the second half, Tyler. You and I watched that Salisal game, got the opportunity to call that game, and those of you who joined us, you got to watch that game. Salisal went to a wildcat formation with their backup quarterback and started gashing Stilwell at the very first of that transition with huge run plays. Stilwell pinned their ears back, Tyler, and they just let their linebackers go free. And that was successful in stopping Salisal, and I would love to see Stilwell start out, be aggressive on defense, and get that pressure early on Fort Gibson. Make them try to force them into making some mistakes.
Yeah, on the Fort Gibson side of the ball, the offense has averaged 15.6 points per game this season. Brad, who are some of the key guys there on that Tiger offense?
Some of the key guys on that Tiger offense, Tyler, is quarterback Parker Lockhart, and he ranks 7th in passing yards in Class 4A. He has 4 touchdowns on the season, but also as a downside to having so many passing yards, he's also thrown quite a few picks at 7 interceptions on the season. Hunter Branch ranks 7th in receiving yards, which is to be expected with Lockhart having that many passing yards. The thing that's really sticking out to me, Tyler, on the stat sheet for Fort Gibson, the defense giving up 42.8 points per game.
Yeah, they're led in tackles by Connor Welch and John Lewis, both in the top 10 in Class 4A. But, Brad, if you look at their thing, the only game that they haven't given up more than 40 points in a game, I believe, was Glenpool, I believe. But it's one of those. Every other game, 4 out of their 5 games, they've allowed 40-plus points in a game. So their defense obviously struggling this year. And it's really surprising, Brad, because in the preseason, they were receiving votes to be in the top 10 in 4A.
Well, and makes sense. They normally are.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about 4A4 as being a stacked district. We expect Fort Gibson, we expect Broken Bow, Podo, Hilldale to always be the powerhouses of this district. And, frankly, they're the powerhouses of Class 4A on this side of the state.
Yeah.
And then you throw in Medill and Ada, which are new opponents that we have yet to see so far. So we don't know what they hold, but this has always been a tough group to play in, a tough district to play in. So a little bit surprising for us being here calling this game 5 games into the season and Fort Gibson being 0-5.
So we are moments away from the kickoff to start this Game 6 for the Indians. Indians, as we said, are 3-2. They're seeking their first 4-2 start since 2007. That is also the last season Stilwell made the playoffs and the last year that Stilwell beat Fort Gibson. So a lot to be rectified in this game tonight in Week 6 for the Indians.
And as my partner Tyler mentioned, Fort Gibson won the toss, elected to receive.
Stilwell won the toss.
I'm sorry, deferred to the second half. So Fort Gibson will receive the kickoff tonight. We'll have Kason Dowdy that's kicking off the ball for the Stilwell Indians.
So your Stilwell Indians on your screen will be in the red helmets, red jerseys, white pants. Fort Gibson going with the white on white on white with their uniform combo tonight. Fort Gibson will be going right to left on your screen. Stilwell going left to right here in the first half. Kason gets his team set, the special teams unit set as he breaks huddle there and gets set for the kickoff. So seconds away from getting the action going here on Thursday night. Checks with his unit. Everybody's set. He's in motion, and the kick is away down the middle. Nice kick. Fielded about the 10-yard line. Returned by Fort Gibson. He makes one man miss, but Stilwell right there to tackle him around the 30-yard line. Return of about 20 yards.
Good return there by Fort Gibson. Made the first defender that met him, Philpott, miss, and then after that it was a group effort by Stilwell to take him down to the ground.
So as we said early on, Stilwell led on the defensive side by Blaine Holloway, the linebacker, and Dustin Noisewater in the secondary. Expect some passing here as the offensive numbers for Fort Gibson show that they like to get the ball in the air. You got to whistle here before action gets underway. I think it's a uniform warning to a lot of guys saying those pants have to be below the knee. There's the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Stilwell, good job of corralling him, giving him only a gain of about 3, it looks like. So it'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of pressure tonight on our cornerbacks and safeties, Tyler, to stop this Fort Gibson passing attack.
So here we go. Second play of the drive for the Tigers. Snap. Fake the handoff, rolling to his right. Looking, nothing there. He's going to chunk it deep. Got a man, no good. Ball falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long. So, Brad, they get them behind the chains.
They do, Tyler, and I'm not sure if that pass, it almost looked like it went out of bounds, but great pressure there by Kaysen Dowdy to flush the quarterback out of the pocket, make him throw on the run.
Yeah, not only that, Brad, but he maintained the right angle and didn't let him get around him to get anything on the ground either.
Yeah.
So number 4 taking the snaps, Cole Mahaney. Fakes the handoff, looking deep again, has a man.
Stilwell over there.
Oh,
wow.
Catches it on the deflection. Gonna get him to the ground around the 10-yard line.
That was a tackle made by Dustin Noisewater and a great attempt to deflect that ball by Talon Hawk Holmes. Unfortunately, Tyler, once he tipped it, it gave the Fort Gibson wide receiver an opportunity to come back and catch that ball.
Cole Mahaney on the pass. So that is different from the quarterback that we mentioned. That might be an injury or something with Lockhart. There's the snap, handoff up the middle. Stillwell there to shut it down.
Oh, wow.
Good job by the Indians.
Great pressure there by number 77, Blake Crozier.
Big time stop, puts them 2nd and long. Brad, it's key. You got to keep them behind the chains. 10:33 left here in the first quarter. We're barely into this game. Fort Gibson deep into Indian territory. In the pistol right here. You got a whistle. There's a flag.
False start on Fort Gibson here.
Yeah, false start. So it'll be 5 yards. Make it 2nd and longer.
That's why I'm not a huge fan of the pre-snap motion in high school. Too many moving parts and not enough discipline to keep your position.
Yeah, a lot of focus, a lot of discipline needed whenever you're running that kind of offense, Brad.
So we'll see what Mahaney and the Tigers dial up here on 2nd and 16 now.
They got 5 wide right here, Brad. They got 4 on the near side, 1 going solo up top. They takes the snap, going to be a little wide receiver screen. He's got blockers. Good job by Stilwell to rally, though, Brad.
Yeah.
And that minimal gain of about 5 or 6.
So it's still going to be 3rd and long. Should be about 3rd and 11 to go here.
Brad, it looked like he had a lane to the end zone, and Stilwell recovered very nicely.
They're going to go 4 wide again.
Same offense. See if they go back to the cookie jar. Got another timeout for Gibson.
Yeah.
So timeout Tigers as they try to get their play picked and ready to go on this big 3rd down play. Last 3rd down play is when they hit that big pass down the sideline off the deflection. Still looking to get off the field right here or force a field goal attempt. Brad, what's your early impressions of the defense so far? They had the big play, but a lot of the other plays, they've looked pretty good so far, pretty sound.
They did have the big play, but like you said, other than that, they have looked very sound defensively. And the big play was, kind of just lucky, really. Just a bad bounce for Stilwell, great bounce for Fort Gibson. So I hope they keep up the intensity here, and I would like to see them bring some pressure on 3rd and 10 and force Fort Gibson to make a decision to kick a field goal.
Mahaney takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it to his. That ball is dropped. That ball got on that receiver a little bit early. Receiver unable to catch it. So it is 4th down, and looks like they'll be sending out the kicker. So it'll be a early field goal attempt here for the Fort Gibson Tigers. Good job by the defense after giving a big play down the sideline where it got the Tigers inside the 10. They're able to, step up and get the stop here and force a field goal attempt. Number 7 will be kicking. That is Jaden Johnson for the Tigers. Snap is good, holds good. Kick looks like it might be.
It is good.
It was flirting with that right upright, but it does sneak in there for a good field goal attempt. That puts the Tigers up 3-0 early in the first quarter. 9:35 remaining here in the first quarter. So, Brad, the offense gets their turn to take the field here. Kanan Mink will be leading them after the kickoff return. As we said early in the pregame, it's got to all flow through Mink and Richards.
Absolutely. And, one of the guys I feel like didn't get as involved last week, and I would like to see him get a little more involved this week on the offensive side, is Dalton Christie. I just feel like with his height, his ability to bring down the ball, make tough contested catches, he's got to see more looks.
Crowd still filling in here to James Bradley Memorial Stadium as Fort Gibson's got a nice showing in the guest stands, and Stilwell crowd still filing in here. Here we go. It'll be Jaden Johnson once again kicking for the Tigers. Kick is away. Fielded at the 20. Return underway. Good block. Trying to get something up the middle. Not there. Good job by the Tigers of corralling him around the 24-yard line. That was
I believe that's number 17, Talon Hawk Holmes.
Holmes on the return. So Mink will lead the Indians onto the field for their first offensive series. Stilwell got a stack formation. We got a official timeout as the chain gang tries to get set over there. All right, so we're back underway here.
Stilwell's first possession on offense this evening.
Takes the snap. It's going to be a QB rollout. He's got some room. There's going to be a flag on the play, probably a hold where the flag was thrown. So Stilwell putting themselves behind the chains early right here. So it is a holding call against the Indians. That'll back them up 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20. Brad, this happened a few times in the game last week against Salisal, but still was able to hit some big chunk plays to overcome it. Well, they'll be forced to do that once again here.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that we have a third of the penalties that we had last Friday night as a whole. Numerous offsetting penalties for unsportsmanlike, so hopefully looking for a cleaner game tonight, Tyler.
So Mink takes the snap, going to hand it off to Richards. Richards got room down the sideline, got to the corner, he makes one, trucks one man. Yeah. He gets to about the 28, 29-yard line. So a gain of about 8. He gets almost all the penalty yards back right there on that one play. It'll be
2nd and 11 is what they're calling it from the 23.
Oh, 23, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
So it is 2nd and 11. He did get about 9 yards back on that play. Stilwell comes out. They'll have Richards in the backfield with Mink. 2 receivers up top. Takes the snap. It's going to be a fake handoff to – no, they do keep it with Richards. He gets tripped up there right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and very long right here. Under 9 minutes as we work our way into this first quarter. So it looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage, Brad, so it'll be 3rd and 11.
And it was great pressure there by Fort Gibson to go ahead and be in the backfield and cause a little bit of confusion between Mink and Richards on who would take the ball. But Mink is back in the shotgun on 3rd and 11.
Takes the snap. They're going to get a false start.
Oh, we got an offsides encroachment on the defense.
Oh,
yeah,
so
he come across a little early.
Okay. So they'll move the ball forward about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 6, making it a little bit more manageable for the Indians. Big play right here, Brad. Indians need to be efficient whenever they do get put on 3rd down. So you got Trips down here to the near side. Takes the snap. It's going to be a QB run. He's able to get the corner. Makes one man miss. Makes another. He gets to about the 31. I think he's got it.
I think so, too. It depends on the spot here.
He had to get to the 29, I believe, and he got there.
Yeah, they're moving the chains. So
or 34.
1st and 10 for the Indians. Ball will be placed right at the 35-yard line.
So good job by Mink to work that and make sure he picks up the 1st down. Stilwell stays in the gun. They run a lot. There's not a QB zone reads out of this formation. Nice pass over the middle is going to be off the hands of the receiver, number 5. That is Trey Chukalate. Does fall to the turf, though, for an incomplete pass. So Stilwell fortunate off that deflected ball to not have a turnover.
It was a good look there by Kanan Mink to Trey Chukalate. Unfortunately,
I think Trey has some room to run, too, if he makes that catch.
he did, but you and I both know anytime you go over the middle,
Yeah, I mean,
it's in your head whether they're there or not. That's what you're thinking about. So bring up 2nd and 10 for the Indians. Ball on the 35-yard line.
Takes a snap, drops back to pass. Looking deep. Lets it go. Richards free. Oh, man.
Right off the fingertips of Ethan Richards. He laid out for it, too.
Brad, he didn't slow down, but there was a little bit of a hesitation move down that sideline route. And I think if he just, you know his speed. If he's just flat out running without the hesitation, I think that's a touchdown.
Great ball there by Kanan.
Yeah, beautiful pass down the sideline. And I think Ethan knew that too, the way his reaction after the play was over. He knew that he missed one right there.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Indians.
That's going to be another encroachment.
Yep.
No, false start this time.
Call false start, okay.
So that'll back the Indians up to 3rd and 15.
The reaction from the Fort Gibson player indicated that was on him.
Yeah. So Stilwell having to get to the 45-yard line for a first down. Brad, I think if you get anywhere in past the 40 and it's a 4th down, I'd go for it. You've already proven that you're able to move the ball on the ground 4, 5, 6 yards at a clip. So here we go, 3rd down and 15. Stilwell having to get to the 45-yard line on this play to keep the drive alive. He's going to roll to his left, looking to throw the ball, gets rid of it, and he short hops it to number 2, Orange Shelley. So that'll bring up a 4th and 15, and you'll have to punt this one away. But it's not that you had some success there. Some penalties kind of set you back at times, but there was some success that you can work off of and build off of going into the next drive.
Yeah. And I like the aggressiveness on trying to throw on 1st down, but unfortunately that puts you behind the chains. And we talked about Ethan Richards and Kanan Mink on a quarterback run.
Oh, not a good punt right here, Brad. There is a flag.
And it looks like we're going to get – I don't know if it's roughing or running. I don't know if there's a difference between the high school and pro ranks, if there's 2 different penalties.
I think he's saying it's a 5-yard penalty.
Okay. Well, you definitely want to read
Either way, you want to punt it.
Yeah.
Five-yard penalty, 4th down. So it is a running into the kicker penalty.
But what I was getting back to, Tyler, is what I was saying was when you take the ball out of Richards' hands and you don't get those 4 and 5 yard gains on 1st down, it makes it a lot harder to convert on those 3rd and longs because you don't have those opportunities. You're typically, if you run the ball on 1st down, you get ahead of the chains, you're going to have 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s.
Yeah. So Dowdy gets another chance at this. Good snap. Gets the ball away. Much better punt right here. Kicks it to fielded at about the 30. He's got the corner on the right side. Down the sideline, still running. And he will be pushed out of bounds at about the.
So they're going to spot the ball right at the 25?
Yeah, so big return there. Getting a return of about 45 yards for the Tigers. You know, when you have a booming punt like that, sometimes you outkick your coverage and it allows them to have an angle. And if you got a returner that's got some speed, it's tough. All right, so Fort Gibson back on offense. They're already in Indian territory. They'll start this drive from the Stilwell 25. You'll have
we have an official timeout again as we wait on the chain gang to get moved.
Yeah. All right, so now we're back underway. QB Cole Mahaney, alone in the backfield, takes a snap. Pressure.
Wide open at number 1. He makes the first man miss.
Two miss. He's going to get tackled inside the 5. So good job by the receiver, though.
Yeah. Made a few men miss before being brought down by a group of Stilwell Indians. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Fort Gibson Tigers. Ball on the 4-yard line.
They snapped the ball right there before the chain gang was set.
He is stuffed. Be no gain.
So no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4. About 7 minutes left here in the first quarter. Mahaney taking the snap. Gonna hand it off once again. Stilwell unable to corral him. That's a touchdown for the Tigers as they push it out to a 9-0 lead. Fort Gibson's hungry, Brad. They come into this game 0-5. They're in not meeting the expectations that they probably had for this season. So it's going to be a fight tonight, and Stilwell's going to have to respond on this next offensive series with some points.
You know, and it's kind of reminds me a lot of the Sallisaw game. And yes, Sallisaw's a bigger rival for us than Fort Gibson is, but they were hungry as well. They were winless coming into that game, you know. So Fort Gibson is, that's going to be a block PAT. You cannot advance the ball in high school, so the score will remain 9-0 in favor of the visiting Fort Gibson Tigers.
2nd straight week for the Stilwell Special Teams unit to get a block PAT right there. Special Teams coordinator Zach Self's got to be happy with his performance the last couple weeks from his field goal defense. All right, so the Indians will be set to get their return unit onto the field right here, try to give them some good field position and let the offense get going. We'll see if the Tigers will kick it into Richard's hands as he goes back to receive. Brad, I just feel it tonight. I think we're going to get a return for a touchdown tonight.
Who are we calling? Are we calling for Richards?
I think Richards. I think the Tigers will make a mistake and kick it to him one time tonight, and I think he'll make them pay. I don't know if it'll be a punt or a kick. I'm not ready to declare that yet, but I think there's a special teams touchdown tonight.
You know, I recall watching Chicago Bears 5-7 years ago, and it was basically a guarantee that if you kicked it to Devin Hester, you were just asking for a touchdown to be scored against you. Ball fielded by Talon Hawk Holmes, and he makes a nice return up to the 30-yard line.
So good return, puts Stilwell in good field position to start this drive.
So we'll see what the Stilwell offense will dial up here on their 2nd offensive drive of the night.
6:47 remaining here in the first quarter. Kanan Meeks set to take the snap for the Indians in the gun. He has Richards to his left. He'll hand it off to Richards. Richards cuts it back, going up the middle. Not much there for him on this run as he gets about a gain of 2.
Good tough run there by Richards. Bring up 2nd and 8 for the Indians.
I mean, his build isn't, like, he's not a big guy or a big kid. But, man, he can chug out some yards whenever he gets in between the tackles. All right, so we get 2nd down play here, 2nd and 8 for the Indians. Mink alone in the backfield. Now he brings Richards back into the backfield with him. Flank him on the left side. Takes, high snap, able to corral it, gets it to Richards. Richards makes one man miss. He's got the corner. Can he get past another? He cannot. It'll be a gain of about 1 or 2 more as he gets it to about the 34-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 6. Right back where we were on the last drive, Brad. Let's see if the Indians can convert on this 3rd down.
So we've got trips to the left of Mink. Dalton Christie out here by himself, flank to the right.
Fakes the handoff, run up the middle. He's got room. Cuts it back to the near boundary. He's down the sideline, and he's out of bounds about the 40-yard line as the Stilwell Indians move into Fort Gibson territory.
Great run there by Kane and Mink, and a good block thrown by Dalton Christie to give him a few more yards.
That might be the spark this offense needs, Brad. Stilwell getting the call. Mink breaks huddle. He's got Philpott in the backfield with him on this play. On his right side. Trips on the near side right here. Going to be a handoff to Philpott. Stuffed at the, loss of about 1.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
No fooling the defender there.
No. Fort Gibson's going to keep getting themselves burned, though. If they're keying on that running back on that read, Mink's going to burn them more often than not.
So bring up 2nd and 12, so officially a loss of 2 on the play.
All right, Philpott still in the backfield with them. They got 2 on the near side, 2 on the far side. Richards in motion. It's going to be a handoff to him on the sweep. Makes one man miss again. Little shake and bake down the sideline. Great job by Richards to get to the 30-yard line. And that'll be a gain of about 9 as it makes a 3rd and 3 for the Indians. Great job by Richards, Brad.
Yeah.
He is dynamic once he gets the ball in his hands.
It's his quickness, Tyler, and how smooth it is from side to side.
Yeah,
he's able to make people miss.
The cuts that he makes, Brad, that's not anything you can teach. That's just instinct and his vision. All right, Mink alone in the backfield. Now they bring one into the backfield with him, Blaine Holloway. It's going to be a fake handoff. Mink's got room on the left. He's got the first down. Still going. He got to about the 10-yard line, close to the 10. Great run by Mink. About the 13, I think, is what they'll end up giving him.
Stilwell will take that all night long.
I told you, Brad, if they keep keying on the running back, he's going to burn them more often than not. I'm not saying that he's not as good as Richards on the running. To me, he's a little bit of a different style of runner. He's more methodical. He can read the blocks really well. Mink in the backfield. He's got Philpott to his right. It's going to be a QB sweep. He's got the corner. He's going to get to the end zone. Touchdown, Indians! No flags on the field, I don't believe.
No. But I haven't seen a signal for touchdown yet.
We do have a flag on the field.
Holding.
I never saw it.
I never did either.
So it'll be holding against the Indians. That will negate the touchdown. I would be interested to know who that was called on. It backs it up to the 20-yard line. Looks like it was a little ways downfield as it makes it 1st and 18. So it must have been a little bit downfield as it was enforced from the spot of the foul.
Bring up 1st and 18 for the Indians.
Mink takes the snap, going to run right up the middle. He's got a blocker. He's got another one. He's going to get inside the 5.
Yeah.
My goodness, that looked too easy, Brad.
Ran into his own guy, Oren Shelley, blocking for him, but so take the ball to the 3-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal to go.
Philpott made that run, Brad. It was a fullback lead. Mink just ran up the middle right behind his fullback. Fullback cleared that linebacker out and it gave him just a huge hole to run through. Mink's in the gun, got Philpott to his left.
Quarterback keeper.
It's worked. It's going to be, bad snap, but they're able to get it to Philpott up the middle. Big man gets into the end zone. Indians touchdown. No flag this time. That one's going to stick. Makes it a 9-6 game with 2:18 remaining here in the first quarter. Fireworks going off. Looks like they will be going for 2 on this one.
That was a great run there by Philpott. Right up the gut.
It's a good read by Mink. Well, first, it was a good job of corralling the high snap. That's the second one that he's went up top to catch without it going over his head tonight. Direct snap to Richards right here. Oh, they're going to get a false start.
Yeah.
They had a man all up by himself on the near side.
And they just showed his hand because Richards went back to pass. So.
Looked like the left guard got a little eager right there. I wonder if they might go to the kick now or if they'll stick with the 2-point conversion attempt. I don't see Kinley coming onto the field, so looks like it will be a 2-point conversion attempt. See if they keep the ball in Richards' hands. I think they will. Got a man in motion. Richards going to keep it. He's got the corner. Can he get there?
Oh, he can.
He's got it easy. Great block by Kanan Mink. Brad, he drove his man to the back of the end zone. Wow. Great job. Fireworks going off after the successful 2-point conversion. That makes it 9-8. Tigers up by 1, but Indians come down the field and answer with a big-time score, Brad.
Yes.
That was needed.
It was needed, and that was great play calling by the coaching staff, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
Great mix of you showed for Gibson a variety of things. So we'll see if the defense, after a much-needed rest, can tighten things up.
Brad, I mean, you got to think about the position the defense has been put in already tonight. And the 9 points that they've given up in this first quarter does not really indicate how well they played so far in this game. Like they've answered the calling pretty well so far. And that was the theme of, through the first 3 quarters of that Salisal game last week, the defense really carried the weight. And they kept Stilwell in that game, and then the offense took it over in the fourth and won the game, but Kinley Catron kicking off for the Indians on this one. Be a little pooch kick down here to about the 30-yard line. Still able to corral him at the 39.
It's a good kickoff coverage there by Stilwell.
All right, so Fort Gibson will be starting at just around the 40-yard line, right at the 40-yard line. Probably, Brad, I can't remember where they started that first drive, but this is probably the worst field position they started at so far this game.
I think they started a little further back. I think they were closer to the 30 on that first drive when they threw the bomb. So,
handoff, little reverse action right here.
Good tackle by Martinez.
Gain of only 3. Kaysen coming in. This is going to spell number 65.
That's Kyler Robertson.
All right, so Fort Gibson got some movement going on right here. Quarterback's going to take the snap in the pistol. Going to fake the handoff. Going to be a bootleg. He's got pressure by Dowdy. He throws it. Going to be caught by 23. Good tackle to limit the gain there. 23, Jace Austin on the reception for the Tigers.
Good catch and throw by Fort Gibson. Tackle made by number 19, Dustin Noisewater.
Mahaney's looked pretty solid, Brad, so far tonight.
And he's been pressured a couple of times by Stilwell.
Takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's got pressure again. He's going to let it fly. It'll be incomplete, so 2nd and 10. Stilwell gets him behind the chains now.
We have 1 minute and 1 second left to go here in this first quarter. In what has been a back-and-forth battle so far.
Brad, the roster that we were given says Mahaney's 5'10". I don't know if I believe that. You gotta.
Where are we guessing here?
I would say he's probably closer to 5'8".
I'm with you.
There's the snap, going to be run up the middle. Great job by the Indians to have a loss on that play. Loss of about 2. Who was that up the middle, Brad?
Looks like it was a combination of Blaine Holloway, Corgan Guthrie. Dalton Christie got in on that action as well.
Man, they blew that up from the start. So 3rd and 12 for the Tigers, going from the Indian 49. Big play right here. Got that diamond formation here on the near
Stilwell
side.
showing pressure, and here comes Malachi McNabb.
Can they get there? Oh, that's a fumble! That's a fumble! You got to get on it! Now there'll be a loss of a play right there. That was a chance for the Indians to jump on that.
And that was Tony Wolf that was sitting there. I think he thought it was an incomplete pass, but because it was a backwards pass, it was a fumble.
Yeah, and, you know, this is only Wolf's 2nd week, I believe, playing.
Yeah,
so that
is.
might be something that he just wasn't familiar with or something like that. But it was a great job of blowing that play up. It looked like Fort Gibson was trying to set up the wide receiver pass there. They'll have a timeout.
Man, and that is the pressure I've been wanting to see Stilwell bring. Malachi McNabb right up the middle was untouched.
Mm-hmm. Man, that was a man. If they could have recovered that, though, my goodness. But that's a learning experience for the coaches right there. To when they get into halftime, like, guys, you don't quit until that whistle's blown, and that whistle was never blown right there.
No.
So you got to, if that ball hits the turf and you don't hear a whistle, you got to jump on that sucker.
Yeah. And, you know, there's no guarantee right there that cost you points. It's not like it's not like a costly turnover as far as a touchdown or something like that. But good learning experience.
Yeah. It's the kind of learning experience you want.
Yeah.
You don't want I know you'll have those negative learning experiences from time to time, but that's still a positive learning experience. You can say, hey, great play, but next time, do this too.
Yeah. All right, so we have ended the first quarter here at James Bradley Memorial Stadium with a score of Fort Gibson 9, Stilwell Indians 8. And we will start the second quarter with the ball on the Fort Gibson Tigers 40-yard line with them in punt formation.
And Dustin Noisewater back to receive the punt for the Indians. Might be our return special teams touchdown right here. Solid snap. It's going to be a short punt. He's going to field it and right up the middle. Oh, my goodness, Brad. If he breaks that first tackle, he is off to the races.
And I was confused because I thought he had called for fair catch. So good job fielding the punt by Noisewater. Will give the Stilwell Indians the ball on their own 38-yard line.
All right, so some success last drive for the Indians as they took it downfield and got 6 points plus a 2-point conversion, coming off a great stand by the defense. So let's see if the offense can keep this positive momentum going for the Indians. Official signals good to play. Mink takes the pass. It's going to be a toss out to the near side right here. Probably a good thing that he didn't catch that one.
I would agree because that was going to be negative yardage, probably a loss of 2 or 3. So bring up 2nd and 10 for the Indians.
All right, so here we go. They're in the huddle. They get the play called. Mink's going to be in the gun. He got Philpott to his right. He's got 2 receivers to the far side, 2 receivers to the near side. Takes the snap. It's going to be a QB run up the middle. He's got room. Big gain there. Gets it to about a 3rd and 2 for the Indians. 3rd and 2, a long 2, I would say.
So great run there by Kanan Mink.
Brad, what are you doing on this short 3rd down play?
I mean, why would you give it to anyone other than Mink?
I'm looking at that QB or that tight end pop pass that they threw last week on a play action.
Be a toss to Richards instead.
He's got the corner. He will get to the 1st down. Good job by Richards to make sure he gets past that marker.
Yeah.
At some point, they're running all this, this toss and this QB read and all this stuff. At some point, they're going to hit that play action.
I feel like this is the perfect spot to do it at.
1st down?
First down.
About right at midfield?
Right at midfield.
Yeah.
Because the reality is you're going 4 downs from here on out. I mean, if you're manageable on 4th down, you're going
I'm also not opposed to sending Richards on a reverse pass. and send Christie downfield.
Be a handoff to Philpott, and that's going.
Well, he's able to get close to the line of scrimmage.
Great cut by Philpott to cut it back north and get back almost to the original line of scrimmage.
That looked like a loss of 5, and then he's able to make it. A gain of. It wasn't a gain. He got back to the original line of scrimmage, but that was a big time play. Those are the kind of plays that only the coaches will be like, great job. That's a good job. It don't show up in the stat sheet or anything like that, but that's the kind of play that you need your players to make whenever they're in that situation. Mink in the gun. He's going to
fumble the snap.
Bad snap. He's able to corral it. He's off and running still. Able to get some yardage out of that. Making some chicken salad.
Be about a 4-yard gain there for Kanan Mink.
He got a down Tiger holding his knee. That's never a good thing. No. So hopefully the young man's okay. As we take a break for the injury timeout, let's look at our District 4A4 standings. After Week 5, coming into Week 6, you got 3 teams tied at the top at 2-0. Hilldale with the tiebreaker points is number 1. Then Poto number 3, Broken Bow number 4. Then you got 2 teams at 1-1. Ada in that 4th spot. That's the big spot. That's the final playoff spot in the district standings. They are 1-1 with 7 tiebreaker points. Stilwell district record is 1-1 as well. They're at -5 in the tiebreaker points. Medill 0-2 with -4. Brad, they are 0-2 and 6th right now in district standings. I think they're the 3rd best team in the district. They've lost a 1-point game to Broken Bow. And they lost a 3-point game to Poto last week.
Yeah.
I think they may be the 3rd best team.
Were both those on the road? I know the Poto one was.
Broken Bow was too.
Okay. So, yeah, Medill is, again, they are an unknown commodity for us and for Stilwell fans.
In fact, Stilwell's never played Medill.
Right. But I can tell you, I had a buddy in high school that played for Medill, went and watched him. That program has consistently been a good program.
Yeah, I think this is their first year jumping up to 4A, correct?
Yes.
So after Medill, you got Sallisaw at 0-2. They're -25 points, and then Fort Gibson at 0-2 in district at -30. Now your max points that you can go negative in a district game is 15, and the max points you can earn is 15. So obviously Fort Gibson suffered 2 kind of harsh losses there. While we also have a break here in 4A4 Week 6 games, we got Fort Gibson at Stilwell. Of course, we're bringing that to you live tonight. Our other Thursday night game is Sallisaw at Broken Bow. Then you got 2 Friday night contests, Hilldale at Poto and Medill at Ada. Brad will be trying to keep you up to date on that Sallisaw and Broken Bow game as we work our way through the night. But I figured it'd be a lot of Broken Bow action.
Well, and as of right now, someone has not updated the score. I know that it started because they were a 7 o'clock kickoff, just like we were, but it showing 0-0 with the game haven't started yet.
Okay.
So.
All right, and as we're still taking a break for this young man, hopefully he's okay and everything comes out okay for him. But thoughts and prayers with him right now.
Absolutely. You know, Tyler, when we were talking about what play they could run that could be a big yardage play, why not do a wheel route with Richards? Mm-hmm. You know, we had these 2 wide receivers. I believe it was Holmes and Christie over here on this left side with Richards on the left flanking the quarterback. Clear the defenders out. Have Christie run a drag route across the middle. Run that wheel route in behind him. I think you're likely going to get Richards on a linebacker or a safety on a matchup.
Yeah.
And I like his chances one-on-one against one of those.
Yeah. All right, as we're still taking this break for the injury, I'm going to go ahead and throw out the trivia question for the night to Brad. It's a 2-parter, Brad. Who in Stilwell football program history, who has the most wins as a head coach in Stilwell football history? And the second part, who has the best win percentage as head coach in program history? Now, they're 2 different people. I'll give you that hint. Let you ponder that for a second as we, as they're taking their plenty of time to help these guys out. Brad, another play I'd like to see. They've stacked them up on trips over here, kind of like a triangle formation almost. Trying to throw a screen or something like that. I like putting Christie at the top of that triangle formation and making it look like that screen, faking the screen pass, and trying to leak him out down the sidelines for a big play over the top. I think you could find a lot of success right there. They're bringing the stretcher onto the field right here. Had Lane Kendall, that is Stilwell City Councilman Lane Kendall, text in trying to answer our trivia question. I'll give you his answer just because it's the wrong answer. He said Craig Benson, and that was incorrect. Now, I will say that the coach that has the best win percentage was here for the same amount of years as Craig Benson. Good job by the PA guy saying a prayer, Kanan Duncan saying a prayer for the young man who's down on the field. Lane followed up with Coach Klein.
That is also incorrect. We were referring to the Stilwell Indians, not the SCLSU Mud Dogs.
All right, I've given you enough time, Brad.
I'm going to go with Joe White.
Joe White
on the first question.
Okay.
The second question, I know this is incorrect, but I can't think of anyone else, so I'm going to go with Sam Clappin on the second part.
Brad, you are 1 for 2 on this.
Okay.
Joe White does have the most wins as a head coach in Stilwell program history with 28 wins.
Okay.
White coached the Indians from 66 through 71. He led them to the playoffs in his final season. Stilwell lost that quarterfinal playoff game to, you want to take a fair guess? They're a 6A powerhouse now.
Union.
Jinx.
Okay.
So they lost 28-8 to Jinx in 71. It is the only meeting between the Indians and the Trojans. Now for part 2, you guessed Clappin.
And I knew it was wrong because he wasn't here long enough.
He wasn't here long enough. Well, he was, because I said this coach was only here 2 years.
Okay.
So I'll give you a redo on that one.
I still am drawing a blank, and I have a feeling I know what year he coached, and I'm probably going to get chastised by my father if he's listening to this. But go ahead and give me the answer, because I'm.
Ron Etheridge.
Yep, I am.
Etheridge went 23-3 in his 2 seasons at Stilwell, taking the Indians to back-to-back quarterfinal appearances in the state playoffs.
So let me guess, that would have been 77-78?
88-89.
88-89, okay.
Yeah, the Brian Johnson special years.
Okay.
But, yeah, he had a win percentage of 88.5%. Back, as I said, back-to-back state quarterfinal appearances for the Indians. I think I was talking to Greg Stilwell through messages earlier this week, and he said that one of those losses was, I think, to the eventual state champions. And so I think Stilwell probably had a shot those years to actually make some noise, as the Etheridge really had 2 teams rolling in those that 88 and 89 season.
I was going to say, there is no way you did all that research on your own and got those answers. You had to have help from Greg, and we want to give it. I
want to stop you right there.
Okay.
I did research, but I confirmed my research with the expert.
Okay, and we want to give a shout out to Greg Stilwell, who has been an amazing statistician for Stilwell sports throughout the years, and compiling all this historical data to where it's easily accessible. He has a tremendous passion for it, and Greg, if you're listening, we appreciate you very much.
But I do feel a little bit insulted as you would say that, because I am a journalism degree holder from the University of Oklahoma, so it's not like I don't know how to research.
Not authentic, because you didn't take Al Leschbach's class.
That's true. I was online journalism.
All right, so we are about to resume play, and looks like we're having a clock issue that the officiating crew is asking the press box to fix.
I think they're doing a 3-minute warm-up period.
Okay.
To let the players get loosened back up after that.
Okay.
The young man was able to get back to his feet. They got him off the field. with assistance there. So that is a good sign that he was able to get off the field under his own power with assistance. So hopefully that is a good indication that the injury is not too severe, and that he'll be able to bounce back from that. So we do appreciate the paramedics, the EMT staff who's on site assisting with that, and wish him nothing but the best, and hopefully that his health and everything is okay. All right, so we will be back under action here with a little over 9 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. The Stilwell Indians will have a 3rd and 6. Brad, it seems like a familiar down and distance for the Indians this game right here.
It does, and as we talked about, this is 2-down territory.
Oh, definitely. All right, so Mink in the gun. He has Philpott to his left. 2 receivers on the near side right here. 2 receivers on the far side.
And Richards is on the far side.
That little hard count got the Tigers in the neutral zone, so that'll make it a 3rd and 1, and that changes the play calling all up right here, as everything is available to you now, because it is definitely four down territory now. Brad, with this down and distance, 3rd and 1, I love taking a shot right here.
Me too, Tyler. I was just getting ready to say the same thing.
So Mink in the gun, Philpott to his left. 2 receivers on the near side, 2 receivers on the far side.
I like the size matchup.
Takes the snap right up the middle. He's got room, still on his feet, still churning out yards, down to about the 28-yard line. Brad, it's just like shooting fish in a barrel right now on the QB run up the middle.
I'm fairly certain that Kanan Mink is actually just a running back in disguise that can throw. I mean, because his vision is not like that of a quarterback.
Ronnie Brown for the Dolphins?
That's right. I'm a Cordell Stewart guy myself.
Oh, now you're talking. Big House beating the
Michigan
Wolverines.
Oh, he's got Christie wide open in the end zone.
Oh, diving attempt, unable to corral it, but nice throw by Mink. Good effort by Christie on the diving attempt to catch it in the end zone.
And there was your shot, Tyler, and it was almost, right there. That's been 2 that Mink has. I don't even want to say he's overthrown them because.
Yeah, they're nice balls.
Yeah.
But I like that Cordell Stewart shout out. We have a dear friend that's listening right now who's a big Cordell Stewart fan, as Cordell made him cry whenever Cordell went into the Big House and beat Michigan years ago. All right, so Mink in the gun. He's got Richards to his left. He's going to hand it off to Richards. Richards going to the right side. He's got some room right up the middle. He's going to get the first down, Indians. Gets it down inside the 20. So about 9:12 remaining here in the second quarter. Indians on the move once again.
And Mink coming over to get the play call from Coach Collins.
I like the pace that this offense is working at, Brad. And they're not in like tempo mode, but they're not taking a long time either.
No.
We got Mink in the gun, Philpott to his left. Man in motion, going to be a handoff to Richards. Makes one man miss again. He's running, still on his feet, gets down to about the 5-yard line. Brad, he is just working right now.
Great hands by Ethan Richards, because that was a bobbled exchange, and he managed to corral that ball, turn it upfield, and turn what could have been either a fumble or a 1-yard loss into a first down game.
How many guys has Mink and Richards just left grasping for air tonight? Handoff to Philpott. Nope. Kept by Mink up the middle. Still able to get some yardage out of that.
So it looks like it's going to be 2nd and goal. Ball will be on the 3-yard line of the Fort Gibson Tigers.
Brad, Indians, even when it hasn't looked great on some of these run plays, has still made some positive plays. So it'll be, as Brad said, second and goal from the 3. Mink in the gun. Richards to his left. It's going to be a handoff to Richards. Back to Philpott. It is a touchdown, Indians, as the Indians take the lead.
Philpott literally walked the last 2 yards into the end zone because there was nobody close to him. And it was a great lead block there by Kane and Mink.
Mink's made 2 great blocks tonight. So great job by the Indians as they take their first lead of the night, 14-9. They will be going for 2 once again.
And this would push the lead up to 7 for the Indians should they convert this 2-point conversion.
Richards taking the snap. They got Chick-fil-A in motion. Richards going to keep it. He makes 2 men miss. He gets it back, and that is a score. Brad, it's too easy for him.
It is too easy. That was a great block over there, too, on the corner by Dalton Christie to hold off the defender from being able to come up and make a tackle.
So 16-9, Stilwell takes a 7-point advantage over the Tigers. And we are off and cruising with this offense right now. Brad, we're 7:52 left in the first half. What's your impression so far?
It's been all Stilwell since those first 9 points. I mean, they have looked like the more dominant team, the more comfortable team.
Yeah.
You know, and I look for Gibson to come out throwing here. I mean, that's their MO. Even if their starting quarterback, Parker Lockhart, is not in this game, and it's Mahaney throwing it, that still looks like what they like to do. So Stilwell has to stay aggressive here.
So kicking off for the Indians will be Kason Dowdy. And they are nice kick. They're going to get a flag.
Yeah. We have an offside or a false start here by the Indians. Probably one of the best kicks we've seen from Dowdy this season.
I mean, that was a nice kick. All right, so Indians will kick off now from the 35-yard line. You might be looking for a pooch kick right here, Brad.
Onside kick.
It's on the flat ground. Oh, Fort Gibson's able to get on it.
Yeah.
Stilwell had a chance there. I like the aggressiveness. I like the surprise coming off that penalty.
You knew with a stutter step from Dowdy, it was either going to be a pooch kick or an onside.
That ball leaked out there for a second, Brad. All right, so Fort Gibson will start in Indian territory from the Stilwell 48.
Good effort there by the Indians. I like the play call. So it'll be Mahaney again in the shotgun formation, running back to his right.
Stilwell showing a little bit of pressure. Wide receiver in motion. There is a flag. They'll get a false start. So it'll back the Tigers back into their own territory, as that'll put the ball at the Fort Gibson 47. Brad, the line for Fort Gibson looks like they have some decent sides. It's the skill players and that I'm not used to seeing Fort Gibson not have more size in those spots. Snap back to Mahaney right here. He's going to take the ball. It'll be a handoff up the middle. They got the angle on the far boundary. He's got some room to run still. He's going to get a first down for Fort Gibson as they get it down to close to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and that was just a mental lapse there by our defense. Everybody on that right side just collapsed down.
You got to maintain the edge right there.
You know, going back to what you said about the skill position players not looking the typical, Fort Gibson skill player that you've seen, grown accustomed to seeing over the last few years, the size of their team in general is down previous years.
Drop back to pass, pressure up the middle, flushed out of the pocket. He'll be chased out of bounds. He will scramble for a gain of about 2, maybe 1.
Great pursuit there by Case and Dowdy just to limit that to a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. I'm sorry, they're officially going to be 2nd and 9, ball on the 35-yard line. So pistol formation here for Mahaney as he's ready to take the snap.
Getting the call from the sideline right here. Running back comes up a little bit closer to Mahaney. Man in motion. Takes the snap. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Once again, he's got room once again on the going down the near side. Gets down to about the 15-yard line. Fort Gibson's found something that works this drive, and they keep going back to it. That delay right there that they keep running is off the tackle is working for the Tigers. Drops back to pass, looking on the slant. It's going to be behind the receiver and off his hands, incomplete. He puts that in front of the receiver, Brad. That's 6.
Absolutely. Good effort there by Talon Hawk Holmes to disrupt that pass, though. Bring up 2nd and 10, ball on the Stilwell Indians 15-yard line for Fort Gibson with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left to go here.
Takes the snap, handoff up the middle, off the tackle once again. Cuts it back, going to get tackled around the 8-yard line. So that'll be a gain of about 8, maybe 7. So it'll be 3rd and 3, I believe, for the Tigers. Mahaney gets set for the snap. Man in motion. Going to be another handoff up the middle. He kicks it outside. He's got the corner. Good job. They got a flag.
Yeah.
Down. He got tackled just shy of the goal line. Let's see what the call is. Going to get a
personal foul
against the
offense and be on Fort Gibson.
Maybe a chop block.
I believe that's the call from the PA. Chop block.
So for those that may not know, you can't engage. One of your guys can't engage with a block or with a defender up top while the other one comes underneath and hits them low. So that may have been what happened right there. So Fort Gibson 3rd and very long now. He'll drop back to pass. He looks to the corner. It gets
ball deflected there.
That was deflected, as Brad said.
A great job there by Philpott getting a hand up.
I don't know how that wasn't holding on Philpott after the deflection. But that'll be 4th and very long. Looks like they'll be sending the field goal kicker out. It'll be about a 34-yard attempt. He'll be holding it officially at the 25, so it'll be a 35-yard attempt. Ball is up, and it is good. Good kick there by number 7,
almost
Jaden Johnson.
Another block there by Stilwell.
Yeah, so that pushes the lead, or cuts the lead to 4 as the Indians lead the Fort Gibson Tigers 16-12. Tigers able to get some positive momentum there, some positive offensive momentum, getting 3 points out of that drive. But once again, it was a short field that led to it, Brad.
Yeah. And again,
I like the call.
Yeah, I like the gamble from Coach Collins.
But all the points that Fort Gibson has had, I'm just saying, has been on the short field. They had the first field goal was off of the bomb down the sidelines on the deflection. The touchdown came whenever they started at the Indians 25. So Fort Gibson's taken advantage whenever they got some opportunities or some positive luck, if you want to call it that. And they've taken their advantage of those opportunities and put points on the board. So they'll be kicking off here from the 40. Jaden Johnson kicking off for the Tigers. Brad, on this one, they've moved Richards up as one of the up men on this one, but they kick away from him. So Coach Coach Collins maybe trying to get Richards involved. Oh, fumble! And Fort Gibson, it's still out on the ground. Who got it?
Fort Gibson's got it.
Fort Gibson ball. Yep. Man, he got popped good on that one. So Fort Gibson starting in Indian territory after the fumble off the kickoff return. They'll be starting at the 30-yard line. Stilwell's defense, after being on the field for a little bit right there, has to come right back onto the field and try to get the ball back for the offense. Mahaney in the gun. Takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Stillwell does a better job on that, maintaining gaps right there, but it is a gain of 5.
Yeah. Really tough 5-yard run there by Fort Gibson.
All right, so 2nd and 5 for the Tigers.
Mahaney gets the call from the sideline.
Takes the snap. He's going to drop back to pass. Nothing there. Now he's rolling. May look to run.
There's going to be a hold here.
Yeah.
Oh, and almost an interception there.
I don't know how. I mean, the white hat called it, which is the right call, but the sideline judge was looking right at it and never reached for his flag. Because the Stilwell player literally got grabbed and thrown to the ground.
Yeah. So it's going to bring up 2nd and long for the Tigers.
So Stilwell gets them behind the chains after the holding penalty. Fort Gibson in the gun. Mahaney set to take the snap. They got a man in motion. It's going to be a fake to the handoff. Pressure up the middle, but they flush him out to the side where they had no one maintaining that edge, and he's able to get a big chunk of yardage back as it'll be 3rd and about 7. Good job by Mahaney to see that he had some pasture to run in over there.
And tough angle to tackle Mahaney from Holloway, who was able to apply the pressure. So it'll be 3rd and 7, ball on the 27-yard line.
So Mahaney, 3rd and 7, operating from the gun. Takes the snaps on, drop back to pass. Good pressure up the middle. They were looking for the screen. Good job by Stilwell to maintain that edge. And they chase him out of bounds. They may get a flag right there. Late flag comes in after the hit out of bounds. That will be a 1st down for the Tigers. The ref had his back to the play and then turns around and throws the flag out of reaction.
Tough call for the officials because it looked like he was still in the field of play when the tackle occurred and the momentum took him out of bounds, but it is going to be a personal foul.
My thing, Brad, is that the official that threw the flag got caught up in the traffic and had his back to the tackle as it was made. He turns around and sees the Fort Gibson sideline reacting. Of course, Fort Gibson wants the flag. It's their guy. I get that. But he reacts to the sideline and throws the flag without ever seeing what actually happened and when it happened. So 1st down for the Tigers as they move further into Indian territory. Takes a snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Stilwell does a good job of limiting to probably about a yard on that gain.
Yeah.
Gonzalez on the tackle for the Indians.
So we are just under 5 minutes to go here in this first half. Stilwell Indians leading by a score of 16-12.
All right, so Mahaney set to take the snap. He's going to take it. He's going to hand it off up the middle. Good job by Stilwell once again. They've made some adjustments after that last drive, Brad, where that delay draw was working for the Tigers. Stilwell's adjusted, and they're maintaining those gaps a little bit better.
Yep.
Looked like some of the Fort Gibson crowd thought it might be a 4th down as they threw the tee out there for the kicker. So it is 3rd and 8 with 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. Mahaney set to take the snap. He's got a man in motion. He's going to fake it, and now they're going to throw it back behind the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Indians.
Yeah, great job reading that
forcing
play.
a fourth down.
And I know Chukalate didn't make the tackle, but he got just enough of him to slow down his progress and allow for his teammates to come and help make the tackle.
They'll send the kicker out once again, opting to take the 3 instead of trying to take the lead. Stilwell will have probably about 2:45, 2:50 remaining on the clock whenever they get the ball back on offense. There's the snap. It's a low snap. And that one is going to be good, I believe. Nope, no good. So that one is wide right.
Just outside the right upright.
So Stilwell will keep that 4-point lead, and they have 3:07 remaining on the clock. Brad, what are you doing? What's your strategy on this drive with little over 3 minutes remaining?
I don't leave any time for Gibson. Ideally.
I think you can still run your offense.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Clock stops after first downs. You still got all 3 timeouts, I believe. No, 2. They got 2. So you got 2 timeouts left, 3:07 remaining in the half. Clock does stop after first downs. So official signals to play. Indian running on the field late. Now they're getting set. 11 seconds remain on the play clock. High snap, corralled. It'll be Mink on the run up the middle. Not much there that time as he gets back to probably about a 1-yard gain. Clock ticking as it moves inside the 3-minute mark. Stilwell's in no hurry. If you get a big chunk play right here, then you kind of probably kick that offense to overdrive. But right now you're just letting that clock run.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Indians with 2.5 minutes to go. Play clock at 12.
There's the snap. He's on rollout looking to throw the ball. Nice little comeback route to Chrissy that's complete and is a first down.
And does the
and
tap.
Stops the clock.
Yeah, it stops the clock, but he got both feet down. Great effort there by Christie working the boundary. So clock stops with 2:20.
Worked the sideline like Mario Manningham did against the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
You know, you look back at that game, Eli was the better quarterback in that game.
Oh, definitely. So here we go, takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Richards up the middle. Richards makes a couple men miss, but gets about a gain of 5, maybe 6. Clock still running as we approach the 2-minute mark.
So now we're going to see Stilwell go to a no huddle. Nope. We are going to huddle.
Yeah. They're still in no hurry, Brad, I don't think. I think that one more chunk play, and I think they probably go no huddle maybe after this play, depending on what happens. But
we're now under 2 minutes.
Handoff, nope, little pass over the middle to number 17, Holmes. That's a first down.
That's a great play by Talon Hawk Holmes. Great read by Kanan Mink.
Good throw, right in rhythm, right on the stomach where it had to be.
All right, so now we're at 1:45, and Stilwell will go no huddle here.
Got the play call. Takes a snap. Going to be a QB run up the middle. He makes a one-man miss. Now he's trying to get to the sideline. Still running. He's able to get out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Great job by Kanan.
Be a flag. That'll be a late hit out of bounds. We have some extracurriculars going on over here.
Coach Collins is not happy.
Yeah.
Kanan Mink looks to be okay after the late hit.
So the clock is stopped with a
minute 28.
Minute 28 to go. Ball will be, right now as it stands, it's 1st and down on the 35-yard line, but with the late hit penalty coming, should be.
The ref's going to go talk to the Fort Gibson sideline, I think.
So this will be a 15-yard penalty that should spot the ball at the Fort Gibson Tigers' 15-yard line.
Got a personal foul.
He's been ejected.
Oh. So the offending player on the Fort Gibson side was ejected for the game. I guess just the nature of the hit. I don't know if it was a targeting play or what, but it was a late hit, dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike foul, and he was ejected for it. And it gives the Indians a free 15 yards as they move down to the 15-yard line. Takes the snap, he's going to roll to his left. He's got some time, throws it into the end zone. Oh, kind of floated on him.
Yeah. And that was Dalton Christie that went up for it, but I think the pass was actually intended for Trey Chukale.
He was all alone, Brad. If he gets it a little bit earlier and able to put some zip on it, that's a touchdown.
So clock is at 1:21. Again, ball on the 15-yard line of Fort Gibson. 2nd and 10. And now, Tyler, being down here in this field position with 1:21 left to go, 2 timeouts left, you can take all the time you want.
All right, so Mink in the gun. He's got Philpott to his right. Richards in motion. Going to hand it off to Ethan. He's going to cut it out to the outer boundary. He's trying to get to the sideline. He's going to be thrown out of bounds, and that will stop the clock, which isn't a bad thing.
No, but it'll be no horse collar called there either.
Looked like they grabbed him from the front of the jersey from what I could see, but they might have got the back. So it'll be 3rd and 12. 3rd and 12. Line to first down marker will be at the 5.
And just a reminder that Stilwell deferred after winning the toss, so they will receive in the second half.
I think this is 4-down territory for the Indians. He's going to pull the ball out. He's looking to throw it. He throws it into the end zone. He's got it wide open. Touchdown!
Wow, what a catch there by Dalton Christie. Originally looked over the wrong shoulder, comes back to the left side. Ball is there. He's able to locate it and cradle that ball, come down with it in the end zone. That'll be 6 for Stilwell.
That pushes the lead to 22-12 in favor of the Indians as they have the point after attempt pending.
Great ball there by Kanan Mink. He has been spot on tonight on those passes, Tyler.
Threw it to the right where he had to throw it, Brad. I mean, I know Christie had to adjust, but throwing it to that outside shoulder is where it had to be. So they will be going for 2 with Richards taking the snap as he typically does in this situation. Chukale in motion. He's going to be the lead blocker. Now he cuts it back. He's got the angle. He's able to run him over and get into the end zone.
Wow, what an effort there.
The young man just trucks his way into the end zone to convert the 2-point attempt.
Completely changes direction, goes back to the left side of the field, is able to truck over that defender, Tyler, as you mentioned, and get that 2-point conversion to put the Stilwell Indians up 24-12 with 1:03 here to go at James Bradley Memorial Stadium.
I wonder if that guy had to pay the Uber fees for that ride into the end zone. All right, so we had a 1:03 remaining here in the first half. Stilwell up by 12, 24-12, as they get ready to kick off. And as Brad said just a moment ago, they do get the ball back at the start of the second half. So, and that's how you want to end a half. Now, you still got a 1:03 to play. You don't want to give up a big play, a late half score right here, or anything like that. If you can keep this 12-point lead and put your offense back on the field to start the second half and go get some more points, you can almost put this game away. Kicking off will be Kinley Catron. All right, so Kinley gets set to kick. Here we go. Little pooch kick down to about the.
And it's going to go out of bounds.
Out of bounds. That will be a penalty on the Indians. See where they spot the ball now. I think it gets moved out to the.
Be at the 35-yard line, so it's rolled out of bounds at the 34.
So they'll put it at the 40. So 5-yard penalty moves it out to the 40. And that's where Fort Gibson will start this drive with 1:03 remaining. Fort Gibson does have 3 timeouts remaining. Mahaney in the backfield taking the snap. He takes it. He's going to throw it out to the edge. Great job by Dalton Christie to just blow that play up.
Read it all the way, was not fooled, came off of his block and was able to make the tackle for loss. It's going to be a loss of about 4 for Fort Gibson with 48 seconds left to go.
I'm surprised Stilwell is not calling a timeout. I'd be tempted to try to get that ball back. We'll see what maybe happens after this play. They may call one after this. They're going to throw it deep. They got a man down the sideline. Great job by the defender over there.
That was a great effort by Talon Hawk Holmes.
Had his eye on the ball the whole way, Brad. So that stops the clock with that incompletion at 32 seconds. Stilwell does have 2 timeouts remaining. So if they're able to get this ball back in a favorable field position, it's not out of the question that they try to go score. Mahaney in the backfield, taking the snap. He's on a drop back, though. Another screen pass. Drop.
Oh.
Nice tackle by number 5, Trey Chukalate. Nice hit. It wasn't a tackle.
It'll be 27 seconds left. And Fort Gibson will call out their punt unit. We're calling for a safe.
Safe, yeah. I think, man, Brad, if you get good field position with 2 timeouts,
Mink has
take a couple shots.
Yeah, Mink has the arm.
All right, so here we go. There's the snap. Punt is away. It's a little bit of a short punt.
Back away from it. There we go.
And that will be dead at the 35-yard line. Fort Gibson's going to go ahead and run it into the end zone for good measure. I don't think it touched anybody.
Yeah, we're getting a confirmation from the officials. They did not touch a Stilwell player, so.
Stilwell ball. All right, so Stilwell will have the ball with 17 seconds remaining at their own 35-yard line. Brad, do you just take a shot downfield? If you can get it to about the 45 or the 40 of Fort Gibson on this first play, then you kind of set yourself up to take maybe another shot or 2.
Yeah, I'm really perplexed.
You could bust. Doing a run, bust one off the edge. Mink's busted some up the middle so far. He's going to roll out to his right. They will look to throw. He's going to fire it downfield. He's got a receiver.
Just a little bit overthrown for Dalton Christie.
Yeah.
Good look, though.
They got a flag in the backfield. I don't know if it'll be a late hit or a roughing the passer. We'll see what the call is. Personal foul, roughing the passer. So that gives Stilwell a free 15 yards. That moves them to the 50-yard line, Brad.
I think you've got to go. I think you got to take 2 shots. Well, you might just get 1 shot here, but you at least got to take it.
Maybe a trick play. I don't know. See what you have in your bag. You do still have 2 timeouts. So 1 over the middle and a quick timeout is okay in this situation.
Ball at the 50-yard line. 9 seconds left to go.
All right, so Mink will be in the backfield. I like trying to keep him in the pocket. I don't know if they do like putting him out on the edge and rolling him out like they are right now. Throwing it back across the field. He's going to
have to run.
He's going to have to chunk it now. There is a flag on the play. Richards caught the pass. He's off and running now. He's got some blockers. He's probably got a chance to get in the end zone right here.
Yeah,
but
it looks like it's going to come back.
Yeah, he does get. They will say a touchdown, I think.
They're going to mark him. Are they going to mark him out of bounds? How could the?
They're saying he's out just in front of the goal line?
But how could he see that from back there?
I don't know. A lot of human traffic right there. They got a hold. It's all for naught.
So yeah, it's negated anyway. Declined.
That's the end of the half. Stilwell 24, Fort Gibson 12. Indians take a 12-point lead into the half. Fort Gibson started the game with a 9 points to take a 9-point lead early. Stilwell answered with, I believe it was 16 unanswered.
16 unanswered points.
It got to 16 to 12 then, and then Stilwell added on 8 more to push it to 24 to 12. Brad, what's your thoughts from this first half?
I'm really impressed with Stilwell, both offensively and defensively. As you mentioned, those 9 points from Fort Gibson came in a hurry, and it was due to them getting great field position early on, and so Stilwell was backed up. But great response there by both sides of the ball, especially offense, to come out and outscore Fort Gibson 24-3. Through the duration of the first half. Just an overall impressive performance from Stilwell. Excited that they get the ball back to start the second half.
Yeah. All right, so that'll do it for us here in the first half. We'll be back here shortly to bring you the rest of this game as Stilwell is up 24-12 for your Thursday Night Lights action. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the second half here at James Bradley Memorial Stadium. Your Stilwell Indians are on top of the Fort Gibson Tigers by a score of 24-12. After Fort Gibson scored the initial 9 points in this game, Stilwell's controlled it from then on by a score of 24-3. Brad.
Yeah, and they have been on. They have been really good on both sides of the ball, Tyler, since those initial 9 points were scored. Want to give you a quick update as to where we stand with other 4A4 action going on tonight. As we mentioned, 2 games being played on Thursday night, 2 games being played tomorrow night. The 2 being played are, of course, this one, which still was leading 24-12 at halftime. The other one going on is Salisaw visited Broken Bow this evening, and that game is at halftime as well with a score of 48, Broken Bow 0 for Salisaw.
My goodness. So Broken Bow putting it on the Black Diamonds. The Black Diamonds having a rough year so far this season in Mark Hudson's first season at the helm for the Salisaw.
And that was a Broken Bow team last week, Tyler. We saw struggle with Fort Gibson on the road. That game was actually...
It was close at halftime.
It was Fort Gibson was winning at halftime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fort Gibson was winning by a touchdown at halftime and kept it close all the way through the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, Broken Bow opened it up and I think scored like 20 unanswered points. So Fort Gibson has exited the visitors' locker room and they are on the field getting warmed back up for the second half action. And here come the Indians as well. They are on the east end zone.
About to start warming up as well. Well, it's been an entertaining football game so far, Brad.
It definitely has, and I'm looking for Stilwell to continue the momentum they've had on the offensive end. As we mentioned, they deferred. They won the kickoff. They deferred to the second half, so Stilwell will receive the ball coming up here shortly. I want to give a shout-out to all of our fans that have come out on a Thursday night. I know that's not our normal game night, but they have shown up strong here at James Bradley Memorial Stadium, so a shout-out to all you fans that came out on a Thursday evening.
Now, the Stilwell Indians will be playing on Thursday night again next week, but that will be on the road as they take on Ada for the first contest between those two schools since 2009. Ada does own the record in that series by a margin of 2-0. So only 2 games played between the two schools, and Ada winning both of them. But Stilwell hoping to take a 2-game win streak into that game.
Yeah, and the following week they will be back at home playing host to Medill. And again, this is the first time that these two teams have ever played each other. This is Medill and Ada's first year in class or in District 4A4. And then they will follow that game up with a home meeting with Broken Bow on 10/28. And then the last game of the year will be on November 4th at the Poto Pirates.
You know, we talk about the distance that, like, we have to travel whenever we go to a Broken Bow or an Ada or a Medill. But think about Medill and Ada. Like, those two schools, they only have each other that they're relatively close to. Every other trip they have to take is 3 hours plus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy for a high school team. It's a lot of money for a high school team whenever you're, the buses and the food and all that stuff when it comes into play. That's a lot. And because we know what all goes into, because we've made those trips down to Broken Bow and Idabel, but it's usually only 1 a year. I can't imagine making 3 to 4 a year. That'd be really tough for a team. So we are seconds away from getting this second half underway. Stilwell will be receiving the kick. Mink's getting loose here on the sidelines. He's had a great game so far. Christie's caught 1 touchdown. Richards, I believe, has 1, correct? And then Mink has 1?
That's correct.
Or no, Philpott has 1. So I think Philpott, Richards, and Christie with the 3 scores for the Indians. And then, of course, Richards has all 3 2-point conversion attempt for the Indians. I still like my prediction or bold prediction, gut call, whatever you want to call it. I think we still get a special teams touchdown in this game.
Are you calling it here? Kickoff return?
Not here. I'm not feeling it right
Okay.
here. Not feeling it right here.
I'm sure Stilwell will move Richards into that up back position as Fort Gibson has been strategically kicking away from him.
I like trying to sneak him into a spot where he can get his hands on the ball in this situation. But he'll be the back man on this attempt right here. Maybe we see like a reverse or something too. You never know.
All right, so for Gibson kicking off.
And it's a bad onside kick.
It's a bad onside kick, but it's recovered by Stilwell.
At the 41 of Fort Gibson.
So a gamble there for Fort Gibson that didn't pay off, much like Stilwell's onside attempt didn't pay off for them either. So this will be great field position for the Stilwell Indians. Ball on the Fort Gibson Tigers 41-yard line.
Okay, so Mink will be in the gun. He'll have Richards in the backfield to his right. Get set for the snap. Philpott now in motion. Will move to the far side of the formation. There's a snap. It's a pitch out to Richards. He's got the corner up the sideline for about a gain of 3.
So officially be a gain of 2 yards.
Jude Turman getting some love from the PA announcer. He was the Indian that recovered that onside kick there.
All right, so 2nd and 8. We'll see what Coach Collins dials up here.
Mink takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Philpott up the middle. Philpott's going to be able to get about a gain of 2, maybe 3, making it a 3rd and probably about 5 for the Indians.
And as we mentioned multiple times in the first half, this is 4-down territory for the Indians.
Oh, yeah. Indians break the huddle. They'll be in their standard shotgun formation. They'll have Philpott to the left of Mink. Christie here on the near side all alone. They got trips to the far side. There'll be a handoff to Philpott up the middle. He gets close to the first down.
Very close, and he lost the ball, but I think he was down already.
Yes. They will say down by contact. I think we'll have a measurement right here. PA announcer says he's shy. They will call for a measurement, though.
Yeah, that's really close.
We had one last week, Brad, that you and I both thought that he had, like, Stilwell had the first down, and they never called for the measurement. So it's just good to see the crew bring the sticks out.
So it's going to be
the first down.
Indians.
So he does. Philpott is able to churn that yardage out and get the first down, giving Stilwell a 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line.
So with a minute gone by here in the 3rd quarter, Stilwell 1st and 10, ball on Fort Gibson's 31. Snap is to Mink.
Mink up the middle. He's got some room, makes one man miss, gets a block on the outside, down to about the 16-yard line around the 15-yard line, and a first down for the Stilwell Indians.
That was great downfield blocking by Trey Chukale and Dalton Christie.
Ball spotted at the 17. Stilwell picking up right where they left off on offense in the first half, Brad.
And I'm going to look for a pass here from Mink.
So Mink in the gun, number 25 to his left.
That is Malachi McNack. Switching sides, he typically plays linebacker.
There's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to McKnight up the middle. Not much there for the fullback.
So Philpott back in.
It's always fun whenever you're mainly a defensive player, but you get to touch the ball on offense.
So officially no gain for McNack on the carry. Mink back in shotgun with Richards to the left. Handoff is no. Pull it back out.
That's to Chukwulate over the middle. It's going to get down to about the 5-yard line. That's another Stilwell first down.
Great read there by Mink to pull the ball out of Richards and throw the ball to Chukwulate.
So Stilwell first and goal from the 5-yard line. Looking to punch this one in to push that lead further out. Here's the snap up the middle. Mink's doesn't have much there, but he's able to bounce it out to the outside. He will score. Touchdown, Indians!
Great patience and vision there by Mink to see that there was nothing up the middle. Be able to see the opening on the right side of the field and walk it in for 6.
Fireworks going off, and there's been plenty of them tonight for the Indians as they lead the Tigers 30-12. Looks like they'll be going for 2 once again. Richards will be taking the snap. No, Mink taking the snap on this play. Richards in motion. They're going to roll Mink out to the right. He doesn't have much there. It's going to be caught. Wow, that is converted for a 2-point conversion. What a throw. He threw that anticipating the break. It arrived right on time. Who was on the catch, Brad? Was it Richards?
That was on Richards.
Richards with
Richards
the catch.
Was on the catch.
So that's his 4th 2-point conversion attempt of the night. But what a throw by Kanan Mink. So that pushes that Stilwell lead out to 20 as they have outscored the Tigers. After the Tigers scored the initial 9 points in this game, it's been all Stilwell by a score of 32-3. Brad, I mean, that's pretty much the perfect offensive series on that one for the Indians.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, very flawless, no penalties.
No penalties.
I don't know if you could ask for a better opening drive to the second half.
I don't remember a negative play. I mean, negative yardage play. I mean, it was pretty flawless, as you said. Case in doubt, you'll be kicking off for the Indians right here.
And this is something you don't see very often for you folks at home. He is a straight-on toe kicker.
And that is right down the middle. It'll roll to about the inside the 20, and then they pick it up, and they are returning it now. Returned. Oh, what a pop shot right there at the 37-yard line. Man, that was a hit.
That was Blaine Holloway with the hit. Or Philpott, I'm sorry. All right, so that'll be bring up 1st and 10 for the Fort Gibson Tigers. Ball on their own 38-yard line after the shot that the return man took from Philpott.
Okay, so playing QB will still be Cole Mahaney for the Fort Gibson Tigers. He'll take the snap, handoff up the middle, coming down to the right side off tackle. He's able to get a first down for the Tigers.
Good first down run there for Fort Gibson.
So solid opening play here for the Tigers on their first offensive series of the second half.
That is number 9, Landon Nail.
Saw some good burst out of the running back right there. Takes a snap. It's going to be another handoff to Nail. He gets a gain of about, looks like the offensive lineman may get the foul there. Maybe offsetting. They're snapping the ball before the line judge or the chain gain's ever in place, Brad. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it seems like that shouldn't be happening.
I would agree. So we'll see what the call here is. They sort out the penalties. 2 flags thrown on the play.
After the run, it should be about 2nd and 1. But we'll see what the call is on the field.
We've got a personal foul coming. I just don't know if it's
Looks
going
like
to be
he's
offsetting.
about to take off walking straight. No, he's turning around. So it may be on Fort Gibson. Yep. Personal foul. Fort Gibson. I would think that was on number 72 out there. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. That backs it up to, I think that should be 2nd down. Because I think it was after the play. No, they say it will remain 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 16.
Yeah. Ball on their own 41-yard line.
So Mahaney in the backfield taking the snap for the Tigers. He drops back, fakes the handoff, rolling to his left. He has a man in the flats. Good tackle there by the Indians. I believe that was number
9, Dalton Christie.
Good job by Christie on operating out in the flats for the Indian defense. So that brings a 2nd and 14 after the gain of 2 on the pass play. Mahaney takes the snap, going to fake the handoff, drops back to pass.
He's got pressure coming.
Pressure up the middle now. Pressure flushes him out to the right, and he'll slide right at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be, well, he actually loses a yard. So it'll be 3rd and 15. Stilwell's got to get off the field right here. You can't give up a 3rd and 15 conversion. There's only one team in Oklahoma that specializes in that.
Here we go. Fort Gibson in the shotgun formation.
And Mahaney drops back to pass. It's a screen pass over the head of the intended receiver. Falls incomplete.
And he didn't have a choice but to go ahead and get rid of that. There was a corner blitz that Stilwell ran with Chukalate bearing down on him. So bring up 4th and 16 from the 42-yard line of Fort Gibson.
All right, so 4th and 16, 15, something like that. They'll be punting it away. Low punt, end over end, rolling into Indian territory.
It's going to get a Fort Gibson bounce.
Down at the 20. So still will be starting from their own 20 on the second series of the second half. It is a score of 32-12 with 7:04 remaining here in the third quarter. Stilwell firmly in control of this game, Brad.
Yeah, and we'll look to see if they can continue on the momentum they've had on this offensive side of the ball and maybe push this lead up to 28.
All right, so here we are. Mink in the backfield in the gun. Richards to his left. He's got trips to the near side. He's going to toss it out to Richards, who's going to run. Cuts it up in the middle. Needs one block. Oh, he's going to be tackled about the 31-yard line. That will be a first down. Looks like they'll mark him at the 32. So gain of about 12.
Good run there by Richards.
So here we go. All right, Mink in the back, or in the gun. He's got Richards to his right. all the receivers to his right. He's going to pitch it out to Richards. They get trying to set the edge for him. He's able to get to the corner, but doesn't get much more than that. I think he might have got a gain of 1. Might be right at the line of scrimmage. It's hard to tell from when it's on the far side. Looks like it will be 2nd and 9. So gain of 1 on that run.
Yeah, Tyler, and if you're Stilwell, while you're nursing a 20-point lead, keep it on the ground as much as you can.
Yeah, Richards came into this game averaging about 90 yards rushing a game. I'm pretty certain he's well over that tonight. All right, so Mink in the backfield. Now he has Philpott to his left. Looks like they will get a false start maybe on Philpott. It looked like he flinched in the backfield right there.
So false start will push the chains back and it'll bring up 2nd and 14 for Stilwell.
All right, so 2nd and 14 for the Indians. Christie will be down here on the near side along the boundary. I don't mind trying to test this corner down here and seeing if you can't get Christie behind the defense, because there is no safety help. It'll be Mink on the run, makes one man miss, but will be tackled for a minimum gain. There is a flag on the field that will probably be against Stilwell.
Looks like we're going to get a holding penalty there.
So as crisp as that first drive was in the second half, this second drive has been totally opposite of that. So that will make it 2nd and a country mile. They declined it, Brad. So making it 3rd and 14. Don't mind that if you're Fort Gibson. You're trying to get the ball back as quick as possible, being down 20. So Mink in the gun, Philpott to his left. It'll be a fake the handoff. He'll drop back to pass, moves up in the pocket, able to evade the pressure, throws it to his man. That is a first down by Richards, who runs out of bounds for a gain of about 19, maybe 20.
What a great job there by Kane and Mink, keeping that play alive, keeping his eyes down the field and able to find Richards on the crossing route.
Ball down to the 48-yard line. So mark it as a gain of 20 on the pass play. They needed 14. Richards and Mink able to get them 20. Yeah, it's got to be just a backbreaker for this Tiger defense, though. He did all that work, had all that luck and penalties, getting them way behind the chains, and they're still able to convert. Handoff off to the tackle, Philpott on the carry. That will be a gain of half a yard, maybe a yard. Looks like they spot it right at the 49, so give them a yard on that carry. 2nd and 9 with 5:15 remaining here in the game. Third quarter.
Say, you're calling it early, partner.
Well, it's Thursday night, and some people got to work the next morning. All right, Mink in the backfield taking the snap. He'll drop back to pass, looking deep. Fires it down. He's got a man.
He has Trey Chukulate wide open. Right through the hands of Chukulate, and Mink is down.
Just a smidge too long. He had a guy behind the defense and just a bit overthrown. But it was a good thrown ball, especially with pressure in his face.
It seemed like Chukulate had a hard time locating that ball.
It looked like it was probably located a little bit too far to the inside of the field. If it's thrown more to the boundary, he may be able to locate it a little bit better. Mink takes a snap, drops back to pass.
Fort Gibson bringing pressure.
Right over the middle to Richards.
Wide open is
He's
Richards.
off and running. Needs a block. He's got it. Can he make one more man miss? And he is in the end zone. Indians touchdown. We got a flag on the field. Where was it thrown at?
I never saw a flag.
Oh, it's thrown back. They're getting a block in the back. The Indian player never touched him.
No.
Still a first down, but take the touchdown off the board.
And as you mentioned last week, this is one of those times where I would like us to have replay.
Like, the Richards used his guy to get around the defender, but I never saw the offensive player put his hands on the defender.
No. A perplexing call to say the least, but still it'll be 1st and 10. Ball on the Fort Gibson 35-yard line.
So 4:35 remaining here in the third quarter. Mink set to take this snap. Takes it. He's going to roll out to his left, looking to get some yardage here. Able to pick up a few out at about the 30-yard line. Gain of about 5. You know, we said Richards averages about 90 a game in rushing, with Mink averaging about 70 a game in rushing. I think he's well above his average too. Mink all alone in the gun.
I like this matchup one-on-one with Christie out, and he's going there a little behind.
A little on the back shoulder. If it's on the front shoulder, Christie's strong enough, he may be able to break that and get into the end zone. So it will be 3rd and 5 now for the Indians.
Which again is 4-down territory for Stilwell. Ball on the 30. Stilwell breaks the huddle. We're going to have Christie over here to the left.
I think you may see that QB draw right here, Brad. There's the snap. He's going to run it up the middle. Nothing. Oh, he reverses course. Able to get past the defenders and get the first down. I thought that was for sure shut down.
I did too. Great patience again by Kane and Mink to reverse field, come back to the left side of the field, and make it a gain of about 12.
Down to about the 18-yard line. Yes, Brad. Clock running at 4:10. Play clock at 9.
Mink sees it. Calls for the snap.
Drops back to pass. Good block there, picking it up. He gets it out to Richards. Ooh. Tries to throw it on a comeback route.
Yeah, and I don't think Richards was quite ready for that. So it'll be 2nd and 10, ball on the 18.
I don't mind the throw by Mink right there because he put it where only his guy could get it. Mink in the gun, as always. It'll be Richards to his left. A couple of receivers down here on the near side. He'll take the ball, hand it off, and they'll reverse play again to Philpott. It's going to get down close to the 15.
It's going to be McNack this time, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, it'll be a gain of about 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7, or 3rd and 7. Getting close to the 3:30 mark here in the third quarter. We're going to go trips to the right. You got Christie all alone down here on the near side. McNack in the backfield with Mink. They're going to take the snap. It's going to be a fake handoff. Nope, they will give it to McNack. He will be stuffed. So that brings up a 4th and long. We'll see what they do. I think that might be out. I doubt he's got a pretty solid leg.
Yeah, but this is going to be.
It looks like they're going to go for it, though. So 4th and 9.
See what Coach Collins dials up here. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go.
There's the snap. He's going to fake the handoff. Backs up to pass. He's got a guy. Chukulate. I don't think he got there, though.
It'll be short.
Be a turnover on downs.
I feel like that initial hesitation by Chukalate cost him.
Yeah, if he would have caught it and just tried to get to the boundary, he might have had enough of the angle to get there for the first down. But turnover on downs at 2:30 remaining here in the third quarter. Fort Gibson will take over at the 12-yard line. So a lengthy field for the Tiger offense to go down. Going to have a official timeout. Looking like they're having a chain gang issue over there. All right, so I think we're set to play now. Mahaney in the backfield, taking the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, throwing it out to on the slant. It's going to be dropped by the Tiger receiver.
That was number 7, Jaden Johnson.
Going to have a Tiger timeout. So Fort Gibson timeout here as the Stilwell Indians lead 32-12 with 2:27 remaining in the third quarter. Brad, after the hot start on that first possession, this game's kind of hit a stalling point to some extent. Stilwell had some momentum or movement there on offense on that last possession, but unfortunately was unable to convert that fourth down play. So it did get turned over on downs there deep into the Tiger territory.
Yeah.
I think the defense has an opportunity to get that ball back for the Indians right here after the failed pass attempt on first down and giving the Tiger offense a 2nd and 10.
And the two fullback run calls, back to back were kind of a little confusing to me. I think probably the second one was, hey, I'm going to try to catch them off guard, even though we just ran a play very similar to this, and unfortunately just didn't pan out. But see if Stilwell can get a 3-and-out right here against Fort Gibson.
Here we go. Drops back to pass. Looking to the far side of the field. That will be dropped. Receiver had it for a moment, and then it falls out of his hands. So it'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and I was really confused right there. It looked like Chelino had good position.
He mistimed his jump, it looked like to me, because he had position to intercept that.
So Fort Gibson going to a hurry-up offense.
Here we go. They're going to fake the handoff, throwing it right back there, trying to go back to the cookie jar. He's got a guy.
Open. And
that is hot,
this time by
and he'll
Johnson.
be tackled about the 49-yard line, so they move into Indian territory on the deep pass. Good throw by Mahaney.
Yeah, and it looks like both the defender and receiver are slow to get up. That is going to be Talon Hawk Holmes.
Number 7 on the reception for the Tigers, which is Jaden Johnson, who we've seen convert 2 field goal attempts tonight. So Tiger offense looking to get going here. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Stilwell able to shut it down for about a gain of 3. Penalty marker on the field.
Looks like it's right where the tackle was made, so possibly a face mask penalty coming.
I think it's going to be against Fort Gibson the way the referees. Oh, face mask, you're right. Against Stilwell. Is it only a 5-yard penalty?
All right, this will be 1st and 3 to go for the Tigers.
Mahaney drops back to pass. Got
He's
pressure
got
up the middle. Ball gets hit. Oh, my God.
Almost intercepted by number 23 for Stilwell. That is Cash Crowley on the play.
So looked like he had an opportunity after the Mahaney's arm got hit on the throw, it looked like. So 2nd and 3 for the Tigers. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. Pressure right up the middle.
Oh.
He just unloaded that one. He was trying to avoid getting smoked in the pocket.
He did, and if Noisewater would have had his head up, I think he might have been able to intercept that pass. So it'll still be 3rd and 3. Ball on the Indians' 42-yard line. For Gibson going hurry up here.
I like the aggression of the Stilwell defense right now on the pressure on the QB. Takes the snap, going to hand it off the left tackle. Going to be a gain of about 5, which will give them a first down. We got looks like maybe a Stilwell player on the ground. Fort Gibson trying to get on the ball quick. They're going to get too many men on the field.
Yeah.
Illegal substitution going to be called against Stilwell. That's, Stilwell or Fort Gibson's in hurry-up mode right now. It's going to be tough to substitute whenever they're trying to get tempo going.
Well, I believe he was the one that was down, hurt after the play. So.
Well, in that instance, the player's got to stay down.
Yeah.
Like, you can't try to get up and try to get off the field. Just stay down.
I think that's what they're discussing here, possibly on the penalty.
It's either on the referee to stop the game because there's a player laying injured. It's going to be too many men on the field. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. I think Coach Collins is trying to say he was hurt. He was trying to get off the field. Why didn't you stop the game and let my guy get off the field? But it's one of those coaching moments for your Coach Collins getting an explanation from the ref. I'm not sure it's going to be a very good explanation, but oh, he is hot. Just like I predicted, not a very good explanation.
So play resumes here at the minute 22 to go. Ball 1st and 5 for Gibson on the 32.
Drops back to pass. Going to be a swing pass. Crowley able to trip him up, and then Martinez comes in to clean it up.
Yeah, and Nail felt that in the back. Enough for a first down. Ball will be placed on the 25-yard line of the Indians.
All right, Mahaney, you've got him on the move. It's 1st and 10, as Brad said, from the 25. Takes the snap, going to hand it off to the left side of the line. Good job by the defense to limit it to a gain of about 4.
We got another flag. It looks like it's going to be another face mask against the Indians.
47 seconds remain in the 3rd quarter. You got to be careful, because if you give up a score here, it lets it become a little bit of a game once again. So that'll be another 5-yard penalty. Remains first down. Good grief. I thought they were running an arena football offense, running the receivers up like that. Mahaney drops back to pass. It's going to be a high throw, but caught by Jaden Johnson.
So it's going to be another first down for Fort Gibson.
And we are 30 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Ball will be on the 9-yard line. Again, hurry up from Fort Gibson.
Mahaney's going to hand it off up the middle. Good job by the Indians defense to stuff it.
Ball's out.
Fumble! I believe Stilwell got on this one.
Stilwell players are indicating they got on it.
Stilwell ball! So big time turnover there by the Stilwell Indians defense. Evens the turnover game on the night 1-1.
Big play there by the Stilwell defense, and best case scenario with Fort Gibson driving here late in the 3rd quarter to force a turnover.
Yeah, because if Fort Gibson gets a touchdown in this on that drive, it makes it either a 14-point game, a 13-point game, and one stop and another score, and you really got something there that you've been cruising all night, and now they're back in it, so it kind of increases the pressure on you. But Stilwell getting the ball back there when they need to. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Richards with the ball. Not much on that run. Looked like a gain of about 3. That'll be the end of the third quarter as Stilwell leads 32-12. The good news is they won the third quarter by a score of 8-0. And something you got to do, it's always an important stat of how you come out of halftime, your score differential in the third quarter. They had some opportunities where that could have been a little bit greater, though.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at this being a 40-12 game, and then the touchdown from Richards gets called back on the phantom block in the back call that neither one of us saw.
Yeah.
Maybe we missed something. But overall, you really can't complain about the performance from Stilwell.
No.
They've been very solid, especially considering you were in a 9-0 deficit early on.
Yeah, and, you had a couple of mistakes early on or set yourself back, and it could have been the resiliency of this team that I've seen after Sallisaw last week and now to this week. They're playing with a confidence that we didn't see in our first broadcast that we had this season against Stigler. Like, they made a couple of mistakes in that Stigler game early on, and you saw it kind of snowball effect on them. Tonight, or last week and tonight, you've seen them overcome that and then set the record straight almost and say, no, this is who we are. This is how we play.
You're absolutely right, Tyler. And one of the things that I would look for if I'm a Stilwell fan is when you go on the road and you play these teams in these meaningful games, the Broken Bows and the Potos, you can't get down early 9-0.
No. So handoff to Richards.
That's going to be Chelino Martinez.
That'll be, I think he might have got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Indians. Might be looking for a slant pass right here, Brad. Something quick.
It looks like Richards is getting tended to by the medical staff over here.
Hopefully it's just a cramp or something. All right, so Mink set to take the snap. They're using that clock. There's going to be a QB draw up the middle. I don't think he got there.
Oh.
He's going to be about 2 to 3 yards shy of that first down marker, and I think he got to punt it away right here. Fourth and 1, Brad. What are you doing?
I think they're going.
I think you got to call timeout. They got their play call in. 10 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, they need to go.
They're going to get a timeout. I think that's a good decision. I mean, you're getting low in the play clock. You want to make sure you have the right call. No reason to rush. No reason to do something that causes a bigger mistake or something bad to happen that turns the momentum of this game.
Yeah.
If you're going for it, make sure you got what you want in. You make sure you got the personnel you want in, and just go out there and execute. Because there's no doubt in my mind they can pick up a yard.
Oh, me neither. The likelihood of it, though, is they were going to try to draw for Gibson offsides. And that's a lot harder to do because the clock's not on your side then at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So be interested to see if Stilwell remains in an offensive formation or if they come out in their punt formation. And I'm trying to scan the sidelines for Case and Dowdy, and
He's right here down at the end.
Okay.
So I don't think they're punting.
So 10:34 to go here in this game. Stilwell Indians up by 20. Facing a 4th and 1, ball on their own 20-yard line.
All right. So Mink in the gun. He's got Richards back in the game to his right. Oh, they did get him to move, but I don't know if Stilwell moved first.
Stilwell moved first or
Did Stilwell call?
We're
Yeah,
gonna get a false start.
Stilwell. It was a good hard count, but it was almost too good.
yeah. And here comes Dowdy in the punt formation now.
I like the call. You had nothing to lose, and even with the penalty, you have nothing to lose. Punting from the 15 is really no different than punting from the 20 right now. There's the snap. Oh, he's going to run.
I don't think he had a choice here, Tyler.
He gets to the 20. Did he get it? I think he's a little short.
No, but
I don't think that was a design call.
No, he didn't have a choice. That punt was going to be blocked.
The snap taking a little long to get back there to him. It's been that way. He's had a couple of punt attempts tonight that it seems like that snap's getting back there slower to him and allowing the edge people for Fort Gibson to get in the backfield.
Well, I can't tell if it's that or if he's just not far enough. Yeah, I mean, he's not far enough back, I don't feel like, to give.
But can the long snapper get it further back? If it's taking that long to get 8 yards, how long is it going to take to get 10?
Yeah. Good point, but it'll be turnover on downs for Stilwell, so ball will be given back to Fort Gibson on the 18-yard line.
They'll throw a little screen pass out here. Makes one man miss, makes two miss, makes three miss, makes four miss. Touchdown.
Touchdown for Fort Gibson.
That changes the game. That is a game changer in momentum.
So now this is going to be a 14-point lead for the Indians, pending.
And they will be kicking the extra point. They've kicked it. They've already proven they got confidence in their kicker.
Yeah.
So we see a momentum swing here. Now it'll be up to the offense to answer as we have a game on our hands in the fourth quarter with 10:16 remaining.
Snap. Kick is up, and it's good, though.
Nice looking kick by Jaden Johnson. So that makes it a 13-point game, 32-19 in favor of the Indians. Brad, you got to think they've scored. Stilwell scored 4 touchdowns and converted all 4 2-point conversions. How big is that right now?
Absolutely.
If they only convert one or none, it's a one-possession game. So those conversions on the 2-point are huge right now.
And I know you still have a 13-point lead, but I don't want Stilwell to get too conservative here. There's a lot of time left on the clock. 10 minutes and 16 seconds to be exact here in this game.
Onside recovery formation up for the Indians receiving team. It is an onside kick.
Good hands there by Tony Wolf.
Good job by the big man who is a integral part of the basketball team. We see some of those hands in the post for the Indians during the hardwood season. So Indians offense will take over right at the midfield mark, and it'll be 10:15 remaining in the game. As we said, they have a 13-point lead.
So we're going to have Mink in the shotgun formation with Philpott to the right.
He's got 2 receivers here on the near side. He's going to give it to Philpott. Philpott's going to get stacked up in the backfield. He's still running, though.
Yeah.
Able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And it looked like he had a loss of about 3, maybe 4, and he's able to shake some defenders and get it back to.
And he's wanting to know his helmet ended up off of his head.
He probably had some assistance in that happening, and that's probably why he's wondering there's no laundry on the field. Blaine Holloway coming in as Philpott had to come out.
And it actually broke his helmet. Broke a piece.
Pulls it out, little pass over the middle is going to be caught, and it was just shy of the first down.
Great hands there by Trey Chukalate to make that catch in traffic, though.
So it'll be 3rd and 2. 8-yard pass play gets them to about the 42-yard line. So, Brad, as we said most of the night, they're in 4-down territory. Holloway going to the left side of Mink. Mink takes the snap's going to keep it himself, tries to get upfield, got the first down.
Great run there by Kanan Mink.
Inside the 30, that's going to be a late flag. That's going to be on Chukalate. pushing the Tiger defender down after the whistle.
But it'll be after the play, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians, and then it'll back them up.
So it'll back it up to probably close to the 50-yard line, kind of where they started this drive, but it will, as Brad said, be 1st and 10, and with it being a dead ball foul.
He called it on for Gibson, but I think he intended for it to be on Stilwell because the ball was moved back. So,
are they keeping it? It should be 1st down. It happened after the play. Are they not saying it happened after the play? Yeah, 1st down. Need to get the chain gang reset.
Yeah, they're a little discombobulated here, and they need to. There we go.
All right. So Mink will be giving out the orders for this play. So 1st down for the Indians, 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. 48-yard line. Pulls it out. Little pass over the middle again. Where's the flag on the roughing the passer?
Yeah. That hit was very late.
There's another flag right there. Oh, right in the back of the Fort Gibson player. Good arm by the ref. Man, he threw that one from way back. I don't know who the penalty's on.
Personal foul.
Against
Defense.
Fort Gibson on that one.
Okay. So we're even things out here.
Yeah, they missed the roughing the passer, but they did get to that one. So it will be a 15-yard penalty on Fort Gibson, and that will give the Stilwell Indians a 1st down. Okay, so Stilwell will play this play from just inside the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. He's going to take the snap, pull it out, little slant pass again. Is going to be caught, be down to just shy of the 20, so about 2nd and 1 on this next play. 2nd and 2.
Clock just under 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go with Stilwell driving.
Mink has Philpott back in the game. Using up the clock right here. Going to keep it himself up the middle. Is going to have a 1st down. Still running, still moving. Down to inside the 15.
Great.
Looks like we have a flag.
Another flag on the play.
False start against Stilwell.
So it'll be 2nd down.
Either that or a legal procedure. Probably a legal procedure since it happened after the play. Or they called it without stopping the play.
So that should push Stilwell back to 2nd and 7. So the ball will be on the 26-yard line.
Mink will be in the gun. He'll have Richards to his left. You got Orange Shelley and Philpott down here to the right. You got Holmes and Christie up top. Looks like it's going to be a pass play over to Christie. Caught.
Great job by Kanan Mink to get that ball.
That is a 1st down for the Indians.
Over to Dalton Christie.
They found this slant that's just working, and they keep going back to it, Brad. Eventually there's going to be a double move right here, and they're going to put one down the sideline for a score, I'm guessing.
This next one may be in the corner of the end zone. Mink in the shotgun, Richards to the left.
There's the snap. He's going to hand it off to Richards. Richards looking for something. Able to spin from a couple tacklers. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Indians! Looked like a pinball going through there. for the score. And that's what you needed after that quick touchdown by Fort Gibson that cut it to 13-point lead. You had to have that.
The strength and balance by Ethan Richards to be able to maneuver through that traffic.
Almost like a Quentin Griffin.
Yeah. So it'll be 38-19 in favor of Stilwell pending the PAT.
Oh my goodness, that one seemed close on the firework.
Mink in the shotgun.
He's going to roll out to his right, looking for somebody. Has a man caught, and it counts. Who's that?
That's Richards again.
Yeah.
So Stilwell will push their lead up to 40-19. 21-point lead with 6:49 left to go here in this game.
You had to have it, Brad.
Absolutely.
I think it's not over yet, but you have to feel a lot more comfortable with it being a 21-point lead.
Yeah. Well, the Stilwell fans sure seem to think it's over. There's a few of them headed toward the exits.
They said it is a Thursday night, and people do have to work tomorrow morning.
So just a reminder of the upcoming games on Stilwell's schedule. They will be away visiting Ada next Thursday night. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff in Ada. Then they'll be back home the following week on a Friday night game, and we will be hosting Medill that evening.
Is there an update on that 48-0 score from Broken Bow and Sallisaw?
I believe Broken Bow has pulled their starters because it is now 48-7 in the third quarter. So.
Okay. Ball short hop there. Good job by the Indian defense to get to the returner before he even reached the 30. So Fort Gibson will be taking over on the offensive side about the 28-yard line. There is 6:42 remaining in the game. Stilwell with a 21-point lead. Stilwell's done well. They went above their offense average on the season, which was around 25 points per game, and right now they're under their defensive scored allowed average, which is about 29 points a game. Ball thrown deep to the sideline, going to be out of bounds. Good defense there by the cornerback for Stilwell. He used that boundary as his help defender. Whenever they're throwing it down that sideline, you got to squeeze that receiver tight to that sideline and make it difficult on him. That throw has to be perfect. Make him make that throw be perfect.
That'll be 2nd and 10. Ball again on the 28-yard line.
Little slant pattern. Oh, my goodness. That was almost a really nice one-handed catch by Jaden Johnson.
Yeah. Great job there by Cole Grimmett, though, to make contact with Johnson and knock that ball away.
I thought he was going to one-hand that one behind his back. So now it's 3rd and 10. You got to know that Fort Gibson's in 4-down territory no matter where they're at right now. Mahaney in the backfield taking the snap. He's going to hand it off. Nope, pulls it out. Pressure up the middle. Not able to get away this time as number 42, Kason Dowdy, gets the sack. That's what we call a sack lunch.
You've been waiting all evening to use that, haven't you? First sack of the evening for Stilwell. And, of course, Fort Gibson forced to go for it. 4th and 14 on their own 24.
And he takes a snap looking deep. Has a man on the slant. Good job
by
breaking
Cole
up
Grimmett.
the ball.
He timed that perfectly, Tyler.
Separating ball from man. Grimmett with the stick. Stilwell takes over at the 24-yard line. And you got to imagine they're up 21 right now, so they get the max amount of points on a district win right now. So they'll probably look to keep this one on the ground and try to just eat up the clock, I would guess.
All right, so it'll be Mink in shotgun formation with Richards to his right.
All right, takes the snap, draws back to pass. Got a little screen play right here to Richards. Richards able to shake the first guy. Down the sideline. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indians. No longer on the field. It's going to stand. That's the third score of the night, I believe, for Richards. Fourth if you count if the phantom block in the back doesn't happen. So 46-19 in favor of the Indians. As I said that they would probably try to keep it on the ground and eat up the clock, I was wrong.
You were so much for keeping it on the ground.
Richards made that first guy miss who looked like he had the screen red, and it was just good night, Susie.
He had great blocking downfield, I believe, from Chukalate and Christie.
Yeah, I thought that the last block they might get a holding call, but don't flag there. Richards on the two-point conversion attempt is going to get tackled. So the first time Stilwell doesn't get it converted tonight.
All right.
But there's a good chance, Brad, that going into next week, Richards may be probably number 2 in scoring in Class 4A after tonight.
Yeah. And if I'm Coach Collins with 5.5 minutes left to go, I'm resting as many of my starters as I can.
Yeah, and if you have a young QB, I mean, because Kanan Mink is a senior, if you have a guy you want to get a look at on this next drive, it may be the time to put him in to just see what you have.
Yeah, it looks like we would be looking at Juan Martinez, who is a sophomore coming into the game, or possibly Sam Unger, who is a freshman.
Okay. So one of those guys, they're probably going to be competing for the job next season. So it may be a good chance to see what you have.
Unger's number 12 right here. He looks like a pretty good-sized quarterback for a freshman.
Oh, yeah. Kinley will be kicking off for the Indians. From what I've gathered from some people around Adair County, that she's kind of started a new trend. Like I've heard of more of the girls going out for football at our country schools, which is an awesome thing to see her being that kind of role model and setting the bar for female athletes.
Absolutely. And here she is ready to kick.
Kick is away. Little pooch kick down to about the 30. Going to be fielded by Jaden Johnson. He's going to go to the other side of the field looking for a hole. He's got the sideline.
Yeah.
And he's going to run over. I think that's Kinley that made the tackle. Oh, no. Cole Grimmett. Oh, Kinley's over here on the sideline already. I thought she made the tackle. I was like, man, she put her nose in there.
We're going to get a personal foul
against
on Stilwell. So that'll take us all the way down to the Stilwell 33. No.
Yeah.
32.
So 5:22 remaining in the game. Stilwell up by 27. Drops back to pass. Mahaney looking for the screenplay.
Read good by Stilwell.
Yeah, that is number 25 on the tackle.
Yep, slowed down by Cash Crowley initially. So the clock is continuing to run here in the fourth quarter. We're about to be under 5 minutes.
So it's safe to say that Coach Bo Collins will get to the 4-2 record that will be the best start for a head coach at Stilwell in his first year since Sam Clappin in '98.
That pass from Mahaney was low, so it'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Tigers. Ball on the Stilwell 31-yard line. And that's a shout out to Coach Collins for the tremendous effort and the good job he has done in bringing these kids together. Mahaney's flushed out of the pocket here.
He's got some room. He's going to have the first down and be out of bounds inside the 20, close to the 15. So we're 4:40 remaining in the game. Takes a snap, looking to throw it. He has a man, Jaden Johnson, going to be caught for a touchdown.
Yeah,
that's a nice thrown ball, Brad.
It was a nice thrown ball. So touchdown pass from Mahaney to Johnson is good.
Cuts it to 21 again with a PAT pending. It is a bad snap, but a kick is up and good. So cuts it to a 20-point lead once again for Stilwell with a score of 46-26, 4:35 remaining. Stilwell firmly in control. Now it's just a matter of what the final score is. I would imagine that we'll see another person in at quarterback this drive. I could be wrong. He may just want to cruise on out of here and keep it on the ground with the two guys he trusts most, which is Mink and Richards. But you also got to think, if you're going to have any chance as they approach the gauntlet of their schedule, the last 4 weeks, which is Ada, Medill, Broken Bow, and Poto, maybe the 4 toughest teams in this district, possibly. Excluding Hilldale, who could be in that conversation as well. You're going to have to be fully healthy. There's the onside kick.
Good
job
hands.
by
number 32, and that is Jose Behar.
Good job by Jose catching that one, because that was a bullet.
Yeah.
So coming in at QB, looks like they will have a new QB, Brad.
Oh, we still have Mink.
Oh, no, Mink's still coming in. I thought they were going with someone else. Richards may be done for the night, though. Because he is somebody you can't, you absolutely can't afford to lose Richards.
So looks like we're going to have Chelino Martinez.
He's got a hole. He's down the sideline. The 30, 25, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown, Indians. What a run by Chelino.
I wasn't sure if he stepped out of bounds here.
I thought he was going to get knocked out of bounds, but he just kept running and outran the defender to that angle.
All right, so Chelino Martinez
on the
showing
board.
some burst.
Great run by Chelino. Great blocking by the Indians. He had a hole on the right side of that line that you could have drove a Mack truck through. Looked like the holes that the TCU Horned Frogs were running through last week.
And let's not remind those folks at home.
Oh, they need to be reminded, Brad, because it could get ugly this weekend.
All right, so we're going to have Catron on to attempt the extra point.
Running someone on late. Oh.
That's not good.
They're going to get another try at it.
Unless Fort Gibson declines the penalty.
That's true. But it should be a false start if you're moving.
Yeah.
Like. How's that not a false start when you're moving, though? Like, they're called illegal shift.
Well, I don't understand how it's illegal. But it's a dead ball foul before the kick.
Should be. I'm going to have to ask my wife's grandfather about that one. He's a former high school official over in Arkansas who's in the Hall of Fame over there. I think he did about 30, 40 years of officiating in the high school game over there. It'll be a puzzle for him to solve for me this week.
Will that be before or after he beat you at Domino's?
He doesn't beat me very often.
All right, so we're going to have Kason Dowdy kicking the ball off for the Indians. With 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to go here in this game.
So 26-point lead for the Indians. Brad said 4:23 remaining in the game. Kaysen kicking off from the 40-yard line. Good boot down the middle.
Wow. Great kick by
Fielded
Dowdy.
at about the 10. Return up the right side. It'll be stopped at about the 35-yard line. So nice return for Fort Gibson. Nice kick by Dowdy. Oh, I saw somebody throw a shoe, and I thought it was a flag for a second.
Yeah, he's got to take the
Oh,
square toe kicking shoe off.
I get you. That's got to be interesting whenever you're playing defense at the same time after kicking.
There's a trivia question for you. Who is the shoe guy for Kaysen Dowdy?
Don't know.
He's got to watch the shoe.
Drops back to pass,
Pump fake.
looking deep.
Going deep.
And
he's got Jaden Johnson.
And Jaden Johnson down the sideline for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That'll cut it to a 20-point game with a PAT pending. I think that was Cole Grimmett in coverage. He kind of mistimed his jump on that one. He had good coverage. He was there. So 3:59 remaining. We've seen a lot of scores in this last 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
That extra point's good as well.
So now it's a 19-point game. 3:59 remaining. Stilwell up 52-33. Now it gets interesting because you've got to have those 15 points for district tiebreakers. You can't be letting this game get any more. You can't let Fort Gibson get another touchdown and cut inside that 15-point marker.
No.
You got to keep it extended out beyond that.
If you can, make this a 3-minute, 59-second drive on the ground and just grind this game out.
I feel like they've tried that, though, and both the last two possessions have been one-play possessions. I mean, the first one was a screen pass that Richards took to the house.
Yeah.
And then the other one was a simple off-tackle run to your backup running back who took it to the house. So it's I think they're wanting to eat up clock. It's just they're scoring pretty easily right now. Fort Gibson, if I was them, I'd try to pooch this over the top.
A little hopper.
And that was
Good
a good
job.
job. Through some traffic, he was able to keep control of that ball. Who was that? Was that Holloway?
No, it looks like it was Dustin Noisewater.
Yep. Correct. Oh, jeez. That's a good arm by Noisewater.
He has played quarterback before.
His brother, I believe, was the quarterback a couple years ago, right?
That's correct. All right, so 3 minutes and 51 seconds left to go. Mink in the shotgun.
He's going to hand it off.
Martinez again.
Martinez looking for a hole. Not much there. He's going to get to.
We got
there's
a flag. And we have Philpott that doesn't have his helmet on again.
Maybe hands to the face, maybe? I like Philpott's style. He's coming in with that old school cowboy collar.
He's coming in with the Rocky Calmus collar.
Yeah. For those Friday Night Lights TV show fans, he's rocking the Tim Riggins collar with the Tim Riggins number.
So this is going to be a penalty on Stilwell, which is going to back them up, make this a 1st and 21. The clock will run.
Inside 3:40 now. As we said, if you could run this all the way down, that'd be super awesome.
Play clock at 10.
Play clock at 5. There's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Martinez once again. Got to stay in bounds. He gets knocked out of bounds. Clock will stop.
Clock is stopped at 3 minutes and 15 seconds now.
Collins probably telling him the same thing we just said is, hey, man, good run. Let's try to get down in bounds. Keep that clock moving. 3:15 remaining. Maybe a QB draw right here.
Good call.
Right up the middle for about a 6 to 7 yard gain. Gets it out to just on the other side of the 50-yard line.
We get a timeout here from Fort Gibson.
That will be their first timeout of the night. 3:05 remaining in the game. That is their second timeout. Fort Gibson has one left. Stilwell 52, Fort Gibson 33. 3:05 remaining in the game.
We want to update you on the score of Broken Bow and Salisaw, which has gone final. Broken Bow is the winner tonight by a score of 55 to 13. So Salisaw's winless season continues.
Brad, I don't know. Something's got to give for this team and Salisaw because they have to play each other. But that may be the only each other's chance to win. And out of the two teams that we've saw now back-to-back weeks, I think Fort Gibson's probably the better team between Fort Gibson and Salisaw. So I would guess that Salisaw may not win a game this season. But I don't know where that game is, whether it's on the road or at Fort Gibson or at Salisaw. That could be a factor. Third down here. He's going to drop back to pass. Over the middle to Richards. He's going to be caught.
Wow.
He makes one man miss. He's going to get hit. He makes another man miss.
Ball's
he
out.
fumbled it. I think he got back on it, but I think they're going to get targeting too.
Yeah.
But is it going to be targeting on the offense or targeting on the defense?
I don't know, but we got Jaden Johnson down on the field.
They hit helmet to helmet. And whoever gets called for targeting, I think they're out the first half of the next game.
Yeah.
But Johnson came in with his head down.
Yeah.
So I think it'd have to be on the offense or on the defense, excuse me. It's kind of insult to injury right there whenever you got the player down.
Personal foul
targeting against the defense.
Yeah.
Yep. So it'll be targeting against Jaden Johnson on that hit.
As you mentioned, leading with the crown of the helmet.
Yeah. Unfortunate right there. He was just coming in to make a play, and the way that Richards caught the ball and made his first move, it just kind of put helmet to helmet or put Richards' helmet in his path. But with that said, he led with the crown, so you got to have your eyes up in that situation. Stilwell moves down to around the 10-yard line. That play, handoff to Chelino Martinez right here, trying to get to the edge. He'll get inside the 10. Clock moves inside 2:40 here. Be 2nd and 8.
Correct. 2nd and 8. And the play clock is currently synced with the game clock, which will take us down to 2 minutes when this next play is snapped. If Stilwell runs it all the way down.
Mink in the gun. Takes the snap. I'm going to hand it off up the middle. Fort Gibson stuffs that one right there. So that'll bring up a third down. Yeah. That'll be a timeout for Fort Gibson.
That was number 22, Garland Winkler, on the carry. So final timeout of the evening for Fort Gibson with 2:01 left to go.
I like putting Mink on the edge right here and giving him a run-pass option. Maybe pairing him up with Christie or something like that, just to give him a couple options. Like if he has the opening, pull it down and run. If Christie's able to beat his man in a route, just throw it out there and for the touchdown. But you want to have multiple attacks right here. But part of me also wants to see a field goal.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if this drive stalls out where we're at, do you let Dowdy or Catron kick a field goal here?
With how they both kick, you have to have that ball to the middle of the field. I feel like that the angle that they're at right now, that'd be a tough kick. Handoff up the middle to Winkler. Winkler's got some room. He's churning it out, but will not get the first down. He does get down to about the 5. Brings up a 4th and 4. So see if they'll send the kicker out. Clock is running, by the way. We're down to about a minute 35. Wouldn't be surprised if they run it all the way down and take a timeout to talk about it. Chelino coming down the sidelines.
It'll be a delay of game here, or he's calling a timeout.
The back judge was ready to throw that flag. He did throw it.
So timeout here by Stilwell with a 1 minute and 11 seconds left to go in this game. Be an interesting call coming up here for Coach Collins.
Kinley's not moving. She's down here on the far end of the sideline. And I don't see Kaysen. The angle for me is not good for Kaysen.
It is more conducive to a soccer style kicker.
Yeah, so I would think if you're kicking it, it'd be Kinley. But I think they're just probably going to run a play and try to get it on the ground or score. I'm guessing if the run play is effective enough to get the first down, they'll probably be a touchdown at that point because the first down marker's down at the 1.
Yeah.
And it will be the offense on the field. You got 2 receivers up top. That slant play was working pretty well earlier in the quarter, Brad. So, but that inside slot receiver, the slot corner has leverage on the inside, so I doubt they're going to go there. It'll be a keeper handoff to the running back. It'll be stuffed. It'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah.
We got a
injured Indian on the play.
He hasn't moved.
Looks like it is Chelino Martinez. He's rolling over now.
You know, after that Dolphins game last week, when you see anybody lying down, it's just kind of you kind of hold your breath for a moment.
Yeah. Looks to be like a arm hand injury suffered there by Chelino, the way he's kind of nursing that arm. All right, so turnover on downs for the Indians with 1 minute and 4 seconds left to go.
Play off to the right side. He's got some room. He's going to be tackled at about the 20-yard line. Clock will stop for a first down, 55 seconds remaining. As I said, Stilwell really doesn't want to give up a score right here as they have a 19-point lead. You got to keep it above 15 to get the max points for a district win. Drops back to pass, going to fire deep down the sideline. Going to be caught.
Yeah. And it'll be a flag.
Pass interference probably, but will be declined.
Pass interference is on offense. So
Wow.
a push off on the receiver there on Holmes.
Still not out of the woods yet, though, as Fort Gibson the last 2 drives have just taken deep shots, and they've scored on a couple.
And we've seen Mahaney has an arm.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. I think the guy who scored the last 2 for him, though, is out. He was the one called for targeting, right?
yeah.
Mahaney is going to hand it off. Nice stiff arm there, but
He's
it went down.
Yep.
That'll bring up 2nd and 20. 30 seconds remaining in the game. We probably got one more play, I'd guess. And 20 seconds.
Ball snapped back to Mahaney in the shotgun.
There it is. He drops back to pass. He's going to fire it deep. Going to be off the hands of the receiver. 12 seconds remaining, so we'll have one more as it will bring up 4th down. Or 3rd and long, I'm sorry. So Mahaney in the gun, or in the pistol, sorry. He's going to hand it off once again. Going to the right side, he will be tackled right at around the line of scrimmage, and that will do it, folks, as the Stilwell Indians defeat the Fort Gibson Tigers for the first time since 2007 by a score of 52-33. They moved to 2-1 in district play and 4-2 on the season, Brad.
An impressive win from Stilwell tonight, Tyler. They came in here, they took care of business against a team that we agreed they were better than, considering how Fort Gibson's played this year. So a great win for Stilwell tonight, one that is much needed as they are going to face some tough opponents on the road.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Collins on starting his tenure here at the Stilwell Indian football program with a 4-2 record. Best start for a coach at Stilwell since Sam Clappin in '98 whenever he went 5-1 in his first 6 games. I expect these offensive rankings for Kanan Mink and Ethan Richards to climb this week as they both just put on a show tonight.
Yep. And just a reminder, Stilwell's upcoming schedule, they go to Ada next Thursday night. That is fall break, people. So next Thursday night they'll be in Ada. And we'll be back here with you live from James Bradley Memorial Stadium on October 21st as the Stilwell Indians host Medill.
Yeah, and we're back with you for the final home game of the season on October 28th when number 8 Broken Bow comes to town. So as Stilwell approaches the gauntlet of their schedule, it's time for them to make a postseason run and see if they can't sneak into that 4th spot in the district standings. They moved to 2-1 on district play in the season, 4-2 on the season. It's been a fun one, Brad. We enjoyed tonight.
Yes, it has, and we hope you guys at home have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining in. And as always, we wish you guys a very happy weekend. God bless.